I think one of the worst things somebody can have going for them, besides watching your favorite character get a power up and still getting their cheeks ran through, is you being stank. Hygiene is an essential aspect of life. It lets people know, dang, he takes showers and his breath don't smell like old man throat. Dang, she look good and don't smell like the rotten fruit up top of grandma's fridge, so she gotta be clean. Dang, I can be around them and not wanna off myself. I don't know a single soul on this planet who wanna meet somebody and the first thing they experience with you is your mouth, pits, and area smelling like pig neck and crocodile spit. Like, for real, look what happened to SpongeBob. Bruh was so musty, he literally distorted a man's face. Who wants to experience that? Nobody, especially if you go to school. You just setting yourself up for a squad wipe at that point. The last thing you want to do is walk up in there smelling like the inside of Palpatine's hood. Shoot, if the Sith got you smelling like that, you better think twice about joining the dark side, Anakin. See, there's two types of musty people in this world besides the ones with medical issues. The folks that slip up 1 or 2 times and forget their deodorant, and the folks that's too lazy and unfocused in the morning to make putting deodorant on a priority, you musty bum. Funny thing is, both of their consequences are the same. They either gotta ask somebody for help or they gotta try to hide it. And I don't know anybody ready to smear barbecue sauce under their armpits because nobody wanna help them. So guess what? We hiding, my boy. Back in 11th grade, I forgot my deodorant a couple times. Yeah, I was that lazy, unfocused, musty bum every blue moon. But don't worry, I ain't like that no more. All these tough years done got me right. I remember my first time. I was on the bus, feeling myself. I can't remember why, but I was rushing to get to school that day for some reason. Good mood, fresh shower, breakfast in my stomach. I'm ecstatic. I got everything on my agenda done before I left the house, except for the most crucial thing. My deodorant. Shoot, at least if I forgot to brush my teeth, I got the option to not talk to nobody. This is outrageous. I didn't realize I forgot my deodorant until I got to 3rd period football workouts. Once I figured that out, all that confidence jumped out the window and Superman wasn't coming to save me. This had me shooketh because I knew there was a possibility I'd end up on Channel 5 because of the football workouts, amplifying the must. And don't y'all hit me with that, Devonte, y'all ain't have no showers in the locker room. You smoking squirrel foot if you think I'm finna make myself vulnerable at all and get hoed. I went through enough already with these heathens in the video I explained before, so I'm good. I'd rather smell like kangaroo pouch all day than get in my birthday suit and shower with the ops. My pride wouldn't let me lack like that, player. I don't care if you think I must have lost my mind, cause in life, tough decisions must be made. The only thing that saved me a little bit was my hoodie to trap the stank in, walking and sitting with my pits shut, and going to the bathroom to wipe my pits every 15 minutes, which in itself was a hassle because we had assigned seats. So if I sit in the back, I'm cooked. There's no way I'm walking through that crowd of people and not have someone end up on a t-shirt. And don't let the must be at full power. That's when you start seeing signs. At that point, what stank in the dark will smell in the light. That one kid pulls his shirt over his nose around you, that brother's being nice. You hear that one guy say, dang, it's stank in here. Next thing you know, you start hyperventilating and overthinking because it feels like all eyes are on you. Your body gets stiff, so the last thing you think about doing is moving at all, because if you do, the whole class gonna flop like fish do. And you better pray the teacher don't call you up to the board, because if that happens, you're done. A girl pulls out her purse spray and sprays in your area, but not like directly at you. At that point, you ain't getting no women, 0. You might as well just cut off your hair and become a monk, because no wife is in your future. Somebody asks the teacher to get up and go sit in a seat far away from you. Somebody get up and start smelling people. He gets to you and says it ain't you, but you know good and well it is you. Bruh, it's as if everybody became Spider-Man the second you walked in the building, which sucks because all these signs happened to me. Coming from 3rd period, I get to 4th period. A little sweaty, but still chilling because the must was not that potent. And I had a front row seat at the far right of the room, so I was safe. At the end of 4th period, I smelled my pits and almost dig a grade for myself because the must started getting stronger. Anxiety at level 10. So I get to 5th period early. Thought I was safe. Until the teacher told me to sit in my assigned seat. You know what that was? The back. You smoking turtle thigh if you think I was finna get up for anything sitting in that back. I can't go to the bathroom. I can't go to the board. I can't even sharpen my pencil. I better suffer. If I'm taking a test, I better ask somebody for a pencil. And even then, I gotta keep my distance. And at this point, that's the only thing I worried about every single period. It's like the more I kept focusing on it, especially with my anxiety almost through the freaking roof, the stronger it became. The stank kept growing as I kept going. When 6th period came around, that's when the game changed. I didn't want to get to this period for a reason. They had me smack dab in the middle of the classroom. There's nowhere to run. I'm surrounded. At this point, I'm about to do a splash spread stank attack and have everybody restart the game. My stank was at full power, anxiety level 100. My boy Kirito couldn't defeat this boss even if he hacked the game. Like, I couldn't hide it from anyone fully anymore. So everything happened in perfect fashion. I walk in the room early, prepping myself mentally for the inevitable. I sit my behind in that chair and I ain't move a muscle. Stiff body, pitch shut. Next thing I know, God, it's stinking here, Mr. Teacher.
Mr. Teacher, it smells like bounce that back in here. Can I go sit in another seat?
Nah, it ain't you.
Bro, Captain, it's me, cuz it's me.
Those were the worst 35 minutes of my life. The only thing getting me up out that chair before everyone left the class had to be Yah himself. I don't care if there was a fire drill, the Klan pulled up, Fleece Johnson popped in. I ain't moving. You sure about that, big dog?
Hey, listen.
I'm an odd creature. Listen, I gotta say it, big dog. The stuff I do when nobody's around is so outlandish, so unorthodox, that you might look at me funny after this video. But it's okay. People been calling me weird all my life, so honestly, I'm fine with it. At this point, I'm embracing my weirdness. This video can either be relatable, or you gonna look at me like a waste of life energy that should have been swallowed instead. Oh, Jesus, I can already tell. Niggas finna be on my neck in the comment section, bro. Also, like the other two, this video is a remastered version of a video that I decided not to re-upload to this new channel. Let's proceed. Exhibit A. I am terrified of shower curtains. Whenever I get a new place, I leave the tub booty butt naked. You can see everything, no shower curtains. Listen, big dog, I don't know why. Like, y'all probably looking at me crazy like, what the fuck? What is wrong with this abnormal ass motherfucker? I don't know, bruh. Man, you got folks out here scared of needles, the ocean, Astroworld, but you out here scared of shower curtain. What? Huh? You know what's messed up about this fear? If somebody ties you up to a chair, goes to Google and makes you watch shower curtains for 4 hours. Like, imagine somebody coming into your house, right? They're like, where the bathroom at? You tell them where it's at. 30 minutes, they're gone, right? You wondering where they at. They ain't taking a shower. They ain't taking a dupe. They said they had to piss. Pissing don't take that long. You walk inside, they having a seizure. And you're wondering why. Whole time, it's because of a freaking shower curtain. Like, what? I had this one girl stay over one time and she didn't complain about the lack of curtains at all until I joked on her, right? We was having a conversation. I decided to joke on her one time just to see if she would pass the vibe check. She get offended and start joking on my lack of curtains. I didn't care. Why? Because I wasn't planning on getting curtains anyway. I'ma stick to my bucket naked bathroom. I don't care if J. Cole or Drake gave me a verse. I ain't doing it. It's just because I'm terrified does not mean I won't walk into somebody's bathroom and still bathe. I'm not a stagnant creature. I'm not a degenerate. I fight my demons every single day. Wake up, put the gloves on, and we box it out. Sometimes I knock him out, and sometimes he float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. And I get right back up. Exhibit B. Whenever I take a I put tissue on the same toilet that only I sit on. It makes no sense. Like, your butt has only been on the toilet. So what's the problem? You fucking weirdo. Like, whoa, calm down, big fella. Tyrese needs all of the tissue. You don't. Don't let me walk into your house trying to use the bathroom. I'm gonna make you pay another $10.99. Don't say nothing when I walk inside your house. Leave the money, just give me the tissue. I'll be on my way. Exhibit C. Instead of me going to the store to buy an actual rug to put in front of the tub, I use the rags that I use to wipe my ass as the rug. Now I know what you're probably thinking, germaphobe? Or why is this only bathroom oriented? Well, if you haven't figured it out already, I'm gonna continue to let you figure it out yourself. I don't know why I trust towels more than I do rugs. I don't know, but I know one thing. If you let me take a shower in your house, just go ahead and get ready to throw on your shoes and go to the store, cause you finna lose $5.99. If I was a robber, don't expect me to rob a bank. I'ma rob the laundromat. Like imagine you being in a hostage situation, the robber come in talking about something, I want all the towels, leave the money. If you don't get confused, I'ma assume you're the person behind the operation, cause you're weird, buddy. Don't worry, it ain't gonna be like this for the rest of my life. You might catch me at the point of my life where I'm not terrified of these things, or maybe you won't, who knows? I'm an odd creature. I have anger problems. I don't know about, or I just did too much and my temper got the best of me. I remember a couple years ago when I used to live with my parents, I remember this one day, I brought the squad over to chill and things went completely left. We were all upstairs, sitting around, chilling, shooting the bull. Next thing I know, me and my brother get in an argument. I'm gonna try to piece together this whole situation so it can make sense. This is basically how it went. Back then, me and these two were trying to make an anime originally by ourselves. Like no animation company, no nothing. We were amateurs. We were in the process of making a trailer for the anime, right? And I was the only animator. And this was around the time where I wasn't an established creator like I am now. I was Devonte Not Yet The One. I'm talking about this is before I did animation. Like this was my rookie year of animation. This was back when I was doing reactions, skits, motherfucking music videos, all that. I just only dabbled with animation every now and then just to like learn how to actually do it because I didn't know how to like do it for real. So with me being a rookie, I'ma keep it 100 with y'all. I traced the entire trailer, literally the entire thing for 10 months. Nothing was original. I'm gonna be honest, I ain't sitting here a lot of you niggas telling me, hey, no nigga, I traced that shit. Cause I honestly thought back then that it was okay to do that. No, big dog. Let's put a pin in that, come back to that later, slide it to the side. The problem here is that he used that as fuel to downplay my work ethic when it came to my content creation, which I've been doing since 2010. And you, bro, if anybody knows me, they know I don't play about my content creation craft, bro. This is what I love to do. This is what I live for. I eat, sleep, breathe content creation, bro. I'm a lion. When you come in my den, the grind don't stop. It don't matter what the opponent is. We will triumph. I went many days hungry, sleepy. Nigga, I had no energy whatsoever, brain fried, just to push out videos that weren't even that good in my eyes now, but they were the shit back then to me. So when somebody tries to make the assumption that my work ethic is the same for everything I do based on a side project that I wasn't really even like taking serious or even caring about for real, then it pisses me off. Like you can't mix the two. So when he started downplaying my work ethic on my content creation because of the trailer, it got me so mad to the point where I stopped listening to logic and reasoning altogether. Like he was just telling his opinion, but it's the way that he said it. He made me feel like I was a lesser being because I did what I did. Like, come on, bruh. And no, he didn't work harder than me. I've been in the trenches since 2010 and I never gave up. Like, dude, watch your mouth. This was a side project. Don't make me get my spray. Put my spray bottle away. Shut, yo. That's why my blood was boiling. So on Kami, I get active. Like, watch your tone when you talking to Big Mellow in this mug, you heard me? I get up out my chair and I bow up on him. Mind you, this is my older brother, but he's skinny compared to me. Like, I'm fresh off of football. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm a big little dude, you heard me? I was like a swole garden gnome. I'm only like 5'6", bro. If you would have played with me back then, you would have got your ass tossed around like Hulk did Loki. So he like, are you walking up on me? I'm like, duh, you ain't finna downplay me. He like, I'm not downplaying you. You need to back up off me. Clearly you were. I will call the homies right now and they will tell you the same thing. So I'm like, I can walk up to you if I want to. I ain't afraid of you. What you gonna do about it? I was, ooh, that junk hot. I was heated, fool. If he wasn't talking these hands, I ain't want to talk. I was ready to throw them paws, you heard me? It was like the Boondocks in there. You would have thought Riley and Huey was fighting, which is pretty much what this situation that was happening was kind of like. If we was at the Grammys and he said that on stage, I would sit my black behind down because I ain't trying to lose no sponsors. So my boy B-Rye, you know, the guy from this story on my original channel, he's like, yo, y'all need to calm down. Why does it matter? My brother like, man, F all that. He walking up on me. I ain't finna let him do that. So I get even more pissed off and I push him. He pushed me back. I push him back again. He punched me in the face. Oh, Kami, after that punch, I got active. So I spear this man into the couch, right? Meek, mock, mookity, mook, mock, meek. Mama, give me a 2-piece combo. Hold the mustard. It got to the point where it wasn't even a fight anymore. It was complete domination. Like, I was overpowering this nigga in every form of fashion. And I was only using like 25% of my strength. Like, what is this, Beerus versus Super Saiyan God Goku? Even though I was at 110 degrees, I only used 25% of my strength because I didn't want to kill my brother. Like, I didn't want to like send him to the Shadow Realm. It's my only brother I have. Like, I care for you, but you still getting these hands, nigga. Like, what? Literally moments later, when I speared him into the couch and started punching him repeatedly, I held down his arm at the same time, and I accidentally dislocated his arm. And what made it even worse is my boy B-Rod tries to intervene again, and it got even uglier. Bro, he tried to grab me and stop me, and I flipped B-Rod. His back hit like the edge of the TV stand. Oh my God, I was so sorry. B-Rod, if you watching this, I'm so sorry. My brother too, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hurt y'all. Y'all pissed me off. It's just a fight or flight mode. You touch me, my body is going to react. I'm sorry. You might get flipped. You might get thrown into outer space. You might get thrown to a different, I don't know. I did the opposite of what my mama always told me to do. She always told me to let the opponent hit first. Then I can mop the flow, hide the wet sign just to catch him slipping. Like my mom was basically Mr. Miyagi, but I turned around and my dumb ass went to Cobra Kai where they strike first, no mercy. And oh boy, did I show no mercy, because I was pissed, my guy. At least I love the nigga enough to not use my 100%. This would've got ugly. Uglier than it already was. He like, my arm. Next thing I know, I hear footsteps coming up the stairs. I'm like, oh! You already know who it is. Mama Bear and Papa Bear has entered the chat. You know, my parents were pissed because my mama didn't even say a word when she got upstairs. She just came over, grabbed me by the ear. My dad went to go check on my brother. I'm sitting there, blood still boiling. My homies just sitting there in shock and silence. They can't do nothing because they know if they would have intervened, it would have ended up like B-Rye. Sorry again, B-Rye. After this whole situation escalated, I said my sorries. I apologized. You know, I made the executive decision to work on my anger. That's why I smile a lot these days. I've been working on it for the past 5 years. I've been doing pretty good, I guess. Sometimes I fold these days, you know, I'm human. It's gonna happen. It's not like I got ultra instinct, nigga, or I just stay calm all the time. I'm not Whis, you know. My anger ain't like it used to be, but it's still present. I don't just go from 0 to 100 now. It's more of a gradual thing nowadays. You know, I'm working on it. And to my brother, I'm sorry, but all you had to do was just keep my work ethics name out your freaking mouth. All right, y'all. So if you've been watching me for the past couple years, yes, before my original channel got deleted, you are an OG. I'm talking about streams, videos, Instagram videos, whatever the case may be. You know, I am weird or different, whatever you want to call a unique human being, such as myself. It don't matter what platform it is, bruh. Whenever I let go and just be myself, you see it throughout the entire video. Like, it get real wicked, gangy. Sometimes I'm aware that I'm doing weird stuff and I just don't care what anybody thinks. But then there's some times where I'm not aware. Bruh, it's happened all my life. I get so invested into something and I become unaware and my mind just drifts off to another place that can't be described, which ultimately leads into me doing something stupid. Again, it's happened all my life. I remember this one time back when I was like 7 or 8. It was either between one of those two. I can't remember. It was just me and my sister sitting around, you know, doing what kids do. Stupid shit. Back then, you couldn't tell me nothing. If you told me, Devonte, don't touch that stove. It's hot. It'll burn you. Your skin is gone. I'm gonna be like, and still touch the stove. My sister, she's younger than me. So everything I did, she mimicked. If I decided, man, I'm gonna jump off this cliff without a parachute, she'd probably push me off and jump along with me. Mans. We were both sitting around chilling, and I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I don't remember why or how a bag of coins got in me and my sister's hands, but we were playing with the money. And I don't mean in a good way. Y'all are probably finna be on my neck in the comment sections. But when I say we were playing with the money in a bad way, not a good way, we were putting the money in our mouths and spitting it back out and putting it back in.
Like, bro, what the fuck?
Emphasis on put your money where your mouth is. Like,
That's insane.
you probably thinking, what the fudge? I ain't never seen no person on this planet be this ignorant in my life. We really could have been doing something regular, like building bed forts. Could have been outside riding the scooter, on the block, doing our done dizzle. But nah, we inside trying to collect coins and level up like this Pac-Man or some shit. The only thing I did before this that was even remotely stupid to what this was like put foil in my mouth. That was the closest thing I ever got to grills. Listen, I don't know why I did it, but you know, I guess it felt good or something. I don't know, bruh. I don't know. If I could go back in time and ask my 8-year-old self why I did what I did, that little nigga would probably look me in my eyes and be like, why the hell do you care? My brother tried to warn me that I was probably gonna swallow one of them, but I didn't listen to him. And you can't save somebody that don't want to be saved, so he just let it happen. He's like, all right, whatever. Do you, buddy? We actually found enjoyment in doing this. I don't know why, honestly, but we did it for about a smooth 10 to 20 minutes, right? I'm thinking in my head the whole time, dang, ain't nothing finna happen to me. I know exactly what I'm doing. Ain't nothing finna go wrong. And I only told myself this subconsciously because I was controlling the flow of the coins every time they went in and went out. I got this under control. Everything was good. Everything was smooth for a whole 20 minutes until... Oh shit! My sister looked at me like, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and stop this. She put the coins in the bag and slid that to the side. She ain't want nothing to do with them coins no more. I'm over there panicking, crying all. I'm talking about a whale could have swam through them tears. Like, I really thought I was about to die. Like, bro, I really was paranoid. Like, bro, I just swallowed something. Is it gonna cut up my organs or something? I don't know what's gonna happen. So I hit a breaking point and hit the dizzy dash to mom and pop's room. And usually I'd have to knock before I open the door, but this time I just busted into the room and I was like, I swallowed a dime. Ah! Boy, when I tell y'all I was slobbering and crying, I'm talking about my eye was so cockeyed, bro. My eye left the planet, like it wasn't coming back. My parents didn't know if I was looking at them or looking at the ground, like. And I was talking to my mom about this the other day, and she was like, you was stumbling like a crackhead that needed a hood. I was like, and when I was crying, bro, I was making the ugliest face, bro. I'm talking about my eye was doing a permanent Cupid shuffle, bro. My eyes were so cockeyed, I didn't even know if I was my parents' son or my parents' pet chameleon. Bro, I really look like one of those googly eyes, like, like I'm pretty sure my mom and dad had a hard time trying to figure out who I was talking to. I really felt like my life was ending. That's how bad it was. I really thought I was gonna die. I was telling my mom like, oh my gosh, Ma, I'm gonna die. My mom was like, you're not gonna die, son. No, Ma, I'm gonna die. You're not gonna die. I see the light, Mama. I see the light. It's going on. I'm gone, Mama. I'm gone. This boy. I'm falling to the ground. I'm tripping. I'm swaying side to side. It was bad, bro. I was like, I'm gonna die. Bro, I was paranoid. Nigga, I ran outside like screaming and crying. I'm like, bro, it was insane. I really was so dramatic with it. I mean, I'm dramatic now, but like, it was way worse back then, bro. But it's mainly due to the fact that I didn't know kids swallow coins all the time. I didn't know that. I'll tell y'all one thing. I never put money next to my mouth ever again. I learned my lesson. Because when I tell y'all I was paranoid, I was paranoid. You think I'm paranoid today? Bro, I was 8. Bro, after that, every time I looked at coins, I wanted to throw up. I was paranoid for about a good 2-3 days. My mom checked my Padoop every single day. And eventually, on the 3rd day, she checked my Padoop and found out that I had swallowed not 1, but 2 coins. Which was weird because I looked at the coins and I'm thinking to myself like, oh, did they multiply in my body? I thought I only swallowed 1 coin. What's going on here? My 8-year-old little brain back then couldn't compute. Somebody slide me the software. And what's crazy is my brother, he was like, I tried to tell him, all because when he was younger, he swallowed a coin too. You know, when you see me on the internet, you're probably thinking, man, Devonte The One got 1.1 million subs on YouTube, 450,000 something on Instagram, almost 500K on TikTok, became a legend in the YouTube animation community that inspired both millions of people and my creator peers, and is undeniably the most creative person in the YouTube animation space, and the list goes on. His DMs are probably swimming with women. Well, I don't mean to brag, but you might be wrong.
But what the hell, boy?
Yeah, that brother Star.
Boy, ain't no way, bro.
99.9% of people sending me DMs for the past 3.5 years has been just men! My YouTube analytics say my audience is 79% men, 19% women. Where is the estrogen, bro? Why do I barely see females, supporters or not, hit me up besides the ones I run into in public? Y'all scared of something? Man, y'all done made me get tender, bro. And as for the women I try to shoot my shot at to get into the 0.1%, I can't get a break. I've been taking deep three-pointers, half-court shots, layups, off the backboard missed dunks, full-court shots, half-court dunks, free-throw dunks, full-court dunks, every possible shot at women outside of the 0.1 I could think of, and all of them missed. Not a single. Thanks, baby girl. One! Man, it got to the point where I started thinking to myself possible reasons why I keep getting ghosted. Like, it could be they have quote-unquote better options. Maybe it's my appearance. My riz might be trash. Maybe they don't know how to coherently extrapolate their idea of how they feel in a conversation. Maybe Tyrone broke Fatika's heart and now she needs a dancing clown to entertain her and temporarily fill the black void of a heartbreak in her soul. That sounded personal. Amazing job, love. It was. So let me tell y'all about the most recent ones. So it was like 2 months ago. I'm in my office room of my house scrolling through my Instagram feed. I end up seeing this delicious, probably nutritious, sweet thing on my feed. I'm like, oh, my. She was beautiful, bruh. Curly hair, brown skin. Ooh, she looked good. But she lived in Brazil. Lucky I'm getting a passport. So I decided to hit her up in the DMs, and I thought to myself, man, I'm just gonna text her and forget she exists because I know for dang sure she ain't finna text me back. So a couple hours later, she texts me back.
It should have been me, not him. It's not fair.
However, she says she don't speak a lick of English. She only speaks Portuguese. Yeah, I know. Thank y'all I live in the age of Google Translate, because trust and believe it was my friend throughout this entire thing. So our first couple texts were like, you probably get this a lot, but I thought you were gorgeous, so I decided to hit you up. My name's Devonte. Nice to meet you. She like, hey, I'm Brazilian. Do you know how to speak Portuguese? I acted off an impulse and lied my butt off knowing I don't know a lick of Portuguese. Talking about a little bit. I'll try my best though. You know English? See, the Most High don't like liars because it goes against his laws. So I'm working on that nowadays. Don't lie, y'all. You don't want people to judge you. I get it. But still, it's better if you just keep it 100, bro. Like, I get it. And if it happens off an impulse, I understand. But still, let's try our best. So after I asked her if she speak English, she like, not at all. You can teach me. Oh. Somehow I knew this was gonna fail because I lied and she didn't. And she rizzed me up in the process. See? This is why you shouldn't lie. It just pisses the Most High off and makes things worse. So I try to bounce back and dunk in the lob she just threw. I'm like, of course, love. I don't care. You could teach me some, I teach you some, and we can both eat while doing it. She like, you'll just have to come to Brazil to pick me up then. I'm like, I'm landing the private jet tomorrow. She started giggling. And you know what they say about men who can make a girl giggle. But you know also what was kind of irking me through this whole situation, and like I knew this was gonna fail because of the thing I was thinking in my head? Bruh, first of all, how am I gonna teach somebody a language when I don't even know their language? That doesn't make sense. Vice versa. She doesn't know a lick of English trying to teach me Brazilian. Does that make sense to y'all? This is how I low-key in my spirit knew it was gonna fail also from the jump. But you know what? I had a little bit of hope because she was so considerate of me that she was like, do you prefer English or Portuguese? If you want, I can use the translator. Oh. So we texting for like 3 days about literally everything. The past, the present, the future, all that. In my head, I thought I found Mrs. Right because her responses, humor, and overall vibe gave me mindless behavior. And then all of a sudden, at the end of the 3rd day, I replied to her last text, and after that, 6 days went by. Nothing. On the 6th day, she texts me as if she just didn't ghost me during an active conversation. I reply to it a couple minutes later, and next thing I know, a whole month goes by and nothing. Ghost town. Got a blast. She dipped. I ain't heard from this girl since, even as I'm posting this video right now. And the whole time she was posting on her IG story throughout the entire thing, bruh. I'm talking about shawty had me depressed, cause most of my life, the ones I always wanted never wanted me back. I was in the shower listening to Pretty Brown Eyes, Mindless Behavior, Music Soul Child, and LL Cool J. I was in the mirror questioning if she ghosted me because I'm ugly or something. Bro, I felt like that one scene from Everybody Hates Chris where Chris got his heart broke, cause I really wanted this girl, bro. But don't get it twisted though, this ain't my first rodeo getting my heart broke. I just do this every time it's the ones that I actually want. You know what though? It's alright, cause since she been gone, I've been focusing on improving myself, and I gave my life to the Most High Yahuwah, and he done blessed me with the opportunity for a new challenger that approached that's giving me the same effort and energy back. And for the first time in my life, she actually likes me back. Oh yeah, she and I stories are being written as we speak. What King George said, if you wanna go, baby, go ahead and walk out the door. Cause one thing that you gotta remember is one monkey don't stop no show. This train gonna keep on rolling. I don't know about y'all, but I'm a huge gamer. Have been all my life. I don't take games as serious no more, like except for when I'm playing MMORPGs. But growing up, I played every game like my life depended on it. If I wasn't sneaking into the living room quietly to play the PlayStation 2 and beat the whole game while my parents were asleep, then you could catch me on the Game Boy putting in that work. If I wasn't playing Pokemon Fire Red, getting it out the mud, then you can catch me on the PSP trying to show the world what a real Keyblade Master looks like. And don't worry, I touched grass a lot, which gave me a good balance of playing outside on the block, but games were really where I thrived the most. I was one of them gamers that always challenged myself and was determined to be the best player I could possibly be. Not finishing what I started and losing was like my kryptonite, my nigga. So I took every game serious. And you know what taking a game serious comes with? Gamer rage, which was bad for me because I already had anger issues. Yeah, it was bad. I was flight before flight took flight. I was like a little baby hawk chihuahua gremlin. I got mad at every time I couldn't beat a level, every time I got my doonies beat down in a fighting game, every time the freaking game would freeze when I made it to the most crucial part of the game. Anything I could think of. 10 broken controllers, me punching holes in walls, kicking the crap out of my dressers, fist fighting Unicron, making dents in my closet door is what I contain myself from doing to keep myself from getting a very much needed ass whooping from my parents. Except for kicking dressers and fighting Unicron. I did that. See, this is why every home need a good father figure, because even though my anger was in full effect, I knew I was raised and disciplined right, because the sound of that belt was the only thing that could bypass the sound of my HP dropping to 0. The sound of that leather smacking against itself was the only thing that could calm Broly the One down. Even them times where my anger reached 100%, like this one time my Mike Tyson in his prime body-built ass dad assumed my emotions during a game I couldn't beat. He told myself, "You ain't mad for real." Excuse me, sir? You try fighting Bowser on Super Mario 64 with no buffs, gods, or cheats. Like, how you gonna say I'm not angry as if you in my body? All those thoughts were in my head, and guess who didn't do a damn thing to my father? Now, most would think gamer rage always causes bad outcomes, which in most cases it does. However, I beg to differ, because there was one day when I was 7 where my gamer rage took my jersey, played all 4 quarters, threw a lob off the backboard, and dunked success in for me. I'm not kidding. What I'm about to tell y'all happened. I remember it was 2006. My mom had just got me, my brother, and my dad all Game Boy Advance Micros for Christmas, right alongside me and my brother's very first PlayStation 2 that had Sonic Heroes, Sonic Riders, and Sonic Mega Collection with it. And this was my first handheld console, so I'm ecstatic, my nigga. And the game she got me with it was Pokemon Fire Red and Sonic Advance 3, which I had been begging my parents for a while to get me. The PlayStation 2 was a surprise for me and my brother that we ain't even know we was getting, because they acted like they wasn't finna get it for us. But my parents showed out that year, no cap. So I put Fire Red on hold and got straight to all my Sonic games first, cause duh, I'm a huge Sonic fan and still am. So for the next 3 days, I binge played Sonic Advance 3, which I turned out to be really good at playing. I'm flying through the levels even though each stage got got progressively harder as time went on, as it should. And some levels did irritate me, but not to the point where I'm ready to go push somebody grandma off her wheelchair into speeding traffic. Come day 3, I get to this level I just couldn't beat. I was stuck on this level for literal hours. Didn't eat, didn't sleep, didn't go outside, didn't watch TV, didn't even wave at the candy lady down the street. I did nothing until this level was beat. Hey, Devonte, mom said, turn around and walk away. Bruh, 8 whole hours passed by, and no matter what I did, how much energy I put in, how focused I was, how determined I tried to be, I could not beat this damn level. So I reached a breaking point. I got so mad that I threw the Game Boy at my closet door. Just chunked that hoe with every bit of strength I had. And I didn't care if it broke, which it didn't, because it was sturdy like a track phone, but it did shut off. I walked out the room to go calm down and ain't looked back once. The only people that heard that loud boom was my little sister and my older brother, because my parents were outside. Again, what I'm about to tell y'all happened. A couple hours later, I walked back in the room, ready to take on that level again. And when I turned back on the game, the entire game was beat. Do you hear the words coming out my mouth? The entire game was beat. All the characters were unlocked, all the levels were beat on rank A, all the bosses were beat. I had all the Chaos Emeralds, Supersonic was unlocked. I had everything. First person I called was my brother. I showed him, he couldn't believe it, and I couldn't either. I was sitting there erect at the fact that this happened, because I ain't never seen something like this happen in my life. Like, it was as if I glitched the console and it beat the game for me. Forget the Midas touch. Nigga, I got that cold Lyoko touch. I'ma tell y'all right now, I never forgot this story because it happened to me only one time in my life and it never happened again. Trust me, I tried.
Hey, listen.
I can't trust you. I don't trust you. Shut the up. Hey, you shut up. Shut the up. Shut up. Shut up. I just want to. Shut up.
Ah, yes. Discipline, the force that builds character, respect, and if done properly, doesn't turn you into a dickhead around elders like some people I grew up with. So when I was 10, back in my hometown, there was this white boy down the street that I used to hang out with outside from time to time. We're gonna call him by his nickname I gave him, Gizmo, because he acted like one of them little gremlins from, well, Gremlins. We were street friends, but we were from 2 different worlds. For example, all the basic home training and discipline I got growing up, he had the opposite. Why? Well, cause his parents were pussies. Ain't no way I'm treating my parents like he did and not ending up on a t-shirt. Ain't nobody gonna slide for me. Bro, I'm an adult and I still say yes ma'am, no sir. The first time and last time I ever seen this thing in action was the day that he asked me to have a sleepover at his house, and it was also the first time I done ever went over the stereotypical middle-class white person's house. So everything that I experienced was new to me. So I get my parents' permission. I have my folks meet his folks because my parents didn't believe in letting me go over some rando's house that they didn't know, and I don't blame them, because you got me 50 shades of freaked up if you think I'm gonna be in a get out situation. When I say this experience was like a movie, bruh, I should have wore 3D glasses, because everything I witnessed had me shook like an iPhone notification. So I get inside, and the first thing I noticed was that it smelled like straight wet dog in there. Like, who been living in here? Crypto? His mom's like,
Hey, honey, you and Devonte want some cookies?
he like, shut up, Donna, we're not hungry yet. I'm like, whoa. First of all, listen, buddy, if I ever call my parents by their first names, I'd be the first name on a gravesite. Like, what's wrong with this little dude? Second of all, I don't speak Italian. So who is this we you speak of? I would love a cookie. Now, even though I just witnessed blasphemy, this ain't my house. So anything that went on in there was none of my business, no my concern. So I continued to stay cordial and calm. So while we walk into his room, right, I'm looking in the living room, there's hair everywhere. On the couch, the floors, the TV stands, the counters. Like, bro, who do y'all got shedding in here? Jada Pinkett? I see why my great grandma used to put plastic over her couch. Cause of stuff like this. And don't even get me started on his room. Ugh, when we got in there, I seen his console collection. Bro was spoiled. This was back in 2009. So he had a GameCube, a Game Boy, a Game Boy Advance, a PSP, a PlayStation 1, 2, and 3, an Atari, a Sega Genesis, a Nintendo DS, a Nintendo 64, a Sega Saturn, a boombox, a 2001 iPod, a Sega Dreamcast, a Mega Drive, and a Famicom. Bro, to this day, I still don't know how the freak he got his hands on those two, because they were Japan exclusive. You couldn't get those in America back in 2009 unless you were like Bill Gates. Gizmo dad must have been a part of like a game console cartel or something. I don't know. All I know is he had it all. Even had his own gateway computer. His own personal gateway computer. I wish I had that back then, because back at my house, we had a family computer that I had to wait my turn to use or didn't get a turn at all. I ain't gonna cap. I was mad jelly because I ain't have none of this back at the house except a PlayStation 2. Seeing all that made me never want to leave. Until I went to use the bathroom on the other side of the house. Oh my gosh, y'all. I had to pass through the kitchen and the living room. And on my way to excrete bodily fluids, I saw his mama cooking food. She put her bare fingers in the food and taste tested the food, bruh. Oh my gosh, somebody come get her. She turned into a liquor. Bro, I almost wanted to throw up. And oh no, it gets worse. Her other son walks in the kitchen, gets on top of the counter, puts his disgusting dirty feet on top of the counter where she was preparing the food. Man, somebody come get Jack Jack. Somebody come get they child. Mind you, little dude just came back from playing with the dog in the backyard. Do you know how many pots and pans would fly across my head if I did some junk like this? I'm gonna let y'all take a guess. All of them. Now again, even though I just witnessed blasphemy, this ain't my house and I ain't eat that food. So anything that went on in that house was none of my business, nor my concern. So I continued to stay cordial and calm until I got back to the room. I'm walking back. First thing I hear down the hallway, F you, Donna. But this time, she was actually arguing with Gizmo. I'm like, here it go again. From the minute I heard them yelling down the hallway to the minute I walked back into the room, they were going at it. Rah, 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 rah. Milk and cookies. Rah, 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 rah. Ketchup and mustard. He calling her all out her name. Everything under the sun. I'm sitting there like, if I ever would have said something like that to my parents, I would have ended up on Channel 5. And I know for a fact y'all smoking some dick if you think I tried to calm down the situation. Like, who finna intervene? Huh, not me. Let them argue. That ain't my problem. This already crazy enough that I'm witnessing a dysfunctional household before my nuts dropped. I ain't even know what dysfunctional meant back then. This was none of my business, nor my concern. I just sat there shocked, but still cordial and calm. Until he slapped her.
Hell no, man. What the fuck, man? Get your ass on, man. Get your goddamn.
That was my breaking point. I was like, okay, it's time for me to go. Ain't no way I just saw what I saw. I am shooketh, big fella. I grabbed my stuff and left and walked back down the street to my house. They was too busy arguing and fighting to notice. And luckily it was 7 o'clock, so still there was a little bit of light outside before sundown. Best believe I never talked to Gizmo ever again. Saw him on the block after that a couple times, and each time I looked the opposite direction.
Hey, listen.
Going to another continent 2.5 weeks ago was scary. I ain't gonna cap. I went to South Africa. Now let's be honest, if you've been in captivity, America, all your life, had a stereotypical perspective of it based off a 1 cent a day can save this child's life African commercial, African booty scratcher jokes, and been brainwashed to think that they haven't advanced past Tinkies, Huts, and despair. You probably think everybody look like this too. Well, cut the crap, cause I'm here to tell you from experience, that's cap. I used to think Africa, I don't want to go to no Africa. It's probably gonna be a zoo in my backyard or something. Like, give me some cool place to visit, like Japan or the DR. Until I went there. I ain't gonna waste no time. I'm gonna tell y'all a little bit of what I experienced and learned. The positives and the negatives at the same time. IRL vlog version of this trip on my second channel, link in the description in my channel page. Okay, first off, coming into South Africa, I didn't see naked people running around chucking spears and going back to their huts to hump their ladies. Everyone there, even the cities, were very modern. They had different spots. The super modern cities, the cultural modern cities, the ancient cultural areas, the safari areas, the poor areas, the rich areas that have the folks that finesse the economy, the suburbs, almost endless plots of land with mountains almost everywhere, a bunch of different cultures, languages, and tribes. The vacation spots were also really nice too. I recommend Durban or Cape Town. Now, my biggest headache living there for almost 3 weeks was the constant power shutoffs. The second I turned on the Wi-Fi, boom. The minute I turned on too many lights, bam. The millisecond I turned on the washer, pow. That's when I found out that houses there needed one of 3 things to combat that: solar panels, an inverter, or a backup generator. I'd recommend just getting all 3, because these people over here getting finessed like America. When the power goes off, there's water, but no lights, no Wi-Fi, no ceiling fan, no AC, no oven, no shirt, no shoes, no service. They really make you resort back to primal survival. Heck, I was walking through the mall that week and the power randomly shut off. In the mall! In the mall! Besides that, the food was bussin'. The drinks were okay, except for the grape Tizers and hazelnut lattes. The mugs were so good, bro. Make you want to smack your grandma. The air is clean. The clouds are real. The land is rich. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if you were digging and found some gold off rip. The pigeons were more masculine than the modern man. Nah, for real. Like, I may have been in South Africa, but them pigeons was from New York. I ain't smell not 1 ounce of fear in them, bro. Like, where they Tim's at? You say one wrong thing to them pigeons and they might pull out a shank. The roads wasn't nothing like the States. They were opposite. And so were the driver's side seats in the car, which at first had me confuzzled. I'm so used to the right that if I drove in South Africa, there might not be none of me left.
You better have insurance, John Turkey. Frick.
I can't stress this enough. If you go to a restaurant, make sure you tip the waiter 10%, or it'll be offensive. If you don't got it, I understand, but if you do, go ahead and give up the goods, my boy, especially if they know. That's the norm over there, because a good portion of the waiters aren't freaking millionaires, or even highly paid workers for that matter. They struggling almost as much as the hobos on the street. Off rip, you wouldn't even know, because that waiter uniform makes them look like regular middle-class people.
You're broke. You're poor.
Same thing for the workers in other professions. Just be mindful. Straight up, you don't know what people are going through in their daily lives. Don't play with these people money, and they won't play with you. Don't believe me? I had an associate of mine get choked out that same week because her card declined in an Uber. So you have been warned. Speaking of Ubers there are everywhere. Uber everywhere. We take out. We don't pay. Yeah, all right. Anywho, if you order an Uber, they'll be there in less than like 2 or 3 minutes, bro. Especially in Sandton and Johannesburg. And a lot of them actually really have nice cars that are cheap. Well, for me, of course. I'm talking about the luxury cars and the sports cars are cheap. Also aesthetically pleasing. I don't know about the inside though. The neighborhoods are actually safe. A lot of their neighborhoods. There's electric fences over the walls and the gates. And they got fences that'll impale you if you try to jump over it. Yeah, freak around and end up like Neji if you want to. The residents there think America is this dreamland until Americans like me school them on how it ain't all peaches and cream. It's more like gravy, turd, and hot sauce mixed together. Especially if you're of the sun-kissed complexion. Speaking of residents, if you get looked at funny because of whatever, don't pay it no mind. They gon' think what they think about foreigners, and if you're too nice, get tough, because they will, and I do mean will, try to hustle you if you don't know how things work over there, especially if you're a foreigner with money. I ain't saying you don't gotta help them out, but be careful is all I'm saying. Some people actually need food, and some people just want money for something else. A lot of people over there try to imitate African-American diaspora culture, from the swag, the looks, the music, the lingo, etc. In the slums of South Africa cities, I don't recommend going there because it's rough. Like, rougher than the the South African suburbs, which are still struggling classes mixed in. I seen a little kid in the slums on the corner looking like a depressed father with 8 kids, a $50,000 tax bill, $700,000 mortgage loan, and a nagging masculine wife with 3 more baby mamas. Man, that really broke my heart, y'all. Like, it's one thing seeing it through the stereotypical commercial, but seeing it in person was a whole nother level of agony. I was in Soweto and saw a line of kids coming from school having to walk through all the chaos and smoke in the city just to get home, just to find out some of them were the cause of the smoke. And I gotta give some of these people their credit. Instead of selling that booger sugar, the poor people out there were hustling to get that money and food. I was bombarded by folks trying to do anything for my money, putting on street shows, a little bit of gaslighting, I ain't gonna lie, selling products they made, even try to charge me for me filming with my own camera. Oh, and singing. Song number 3, chat. Ain't no way. I had to give them some type of bread for that performance. Now, if you an American, pop bottles, because the USD currency is way more valuable than their currency, which is rands. I need y'all to understand this. 1 USD is currently worth 18 rands. So for every US dollar you add, it's like adding 18 rands each time. So let's say you have 5 USD, multiply 5 times 18 and you get 90 rands. You just multiplied the value of the dollar times the amount of dollars you have. You added 18 5 times. The reverse will be you taking 90 rands and dividing it by 18 and getting 5. An easy way to remember the currency differences between South Africa and the States is America to South Africa multiplication. South Africa to America division. Remember that. The popo and the security are way more calmer and nicer, unlike the States where they could put a strap in your face and get away with it. But I'd be more scared of the security because they be more strapped than the officers. Bro, I saw security at the South African malls at each corner, AK slapped across chest, eye in the direction of the butts. Yep, AK or not, men gonna be men. Overall, my experience was life-changing. I plan on moving there permanently soon. And no, it ain't because of the 2.5 weeks I spent there. I already made plans to move there, so don't think. Son of a...
Hey, listen.
Man, let me tell y'all about what happened right before I left South Africa. And I ain't even trying to be funny right now because my gears have been grinded, big fella. Y'all can thank a certain boss at a certain store in Joburg, South Africa for me making this video. Congratulations, daddy's about to make some money off you, sport. Yeah, we don't slide on folks who cause me pain. We legally extort them through video. 3 weeks ago, I'm in Joburg prepping to leave to go back to the United States because I've been in Joburg for almost 4 months. While I'm there, at every chance I got, I hollered at a honey and tried to go on a date. And I'm gonna be honest, I took hella L's. But I never give up when it comes to trying to bag the women I want. There ain't no forget women for a couple months and miss opportunities. I'm successful, but wifeless. So my Pokeball always gonna stay polished just in case I need to catch them all. That same week, I took the biggest L that made me want to tell honey, put up my super suit. And y'all please pay attention because every detail matters to the progression of the story. It was a weekday. I'm in the mall. I walk in this store. I'm not gonna say the name of the store. We just gonna call it Jernt. When I walked into Jernt for the first time, I made a little friend in there. I bought hella socks from the establishment. While she was helping me, we both smiling, giggling, laughing, good conversation. Her coworkers smiling, laughing, giggling. She gave me a hug after that seemed like no issue. Everything seemed cool, right? Fast forward the next day. I walk into Jernt. My little friend I made the day before was on the other side, and this time a new staff member that wasn't there the first day was present. We ain't finna use her real name. We're gonna call her Peso. Peso sees me going towards the socks and immediately comes to help. She was very attractive, so I'm glad she came to help and not one of her gargoyle-looking coworkers. However, this time, the atmosphere of the store changed when I specifically spoke to her. Her boss started side-eyeing me and some of her coworkers too, and even my little friend started acting slightly funny as if she needed to blink 2 times for help, which made me anxious a little bit because too many many eyes on me makes me paranoid, but thankfully I just ignored them and kept my interaction with Peso going. As she's helping me, we both smiling, laughing, having a good conversation. I'm rizzing her up a little bit because I wanted her, and she gives off vibes that she was feeling me. The one thing my little friend did not do. I get to the register, we still having a good conversation, low-key flirting. Next thing I know, all eyes on me. I'm talking about everybody in the store watching me like a damn hawk. For some reason, which made my anxiety shoot out the roof. So I acted out of impulse after paying and left the store without her number.
Huh? What the f is wrong with you?
Don't worry. I spent back later that day and got her number, despite all the eyes still being on me. And even worse this time, because they were suspicious of me wondering why I came back. I gave her a little "my sister wanted some socks too" excuse to come back, which was not a lie, because my sister did tell me earlier that day she wanted some socks from that same spot. For a couple days, we start texting, calling. Next thing I know, I'm at the mall again. This time, I went with people and took them to that same store. However, this time, it was different. This time, bruh, I felt like I walked into a Wild Wild West saloon, cause everybody, and I mean everybody, stared at me like I had the blick on me and wanted some problems. Bruh, on my third cousin's best friend's crippled turtle, I'm not kidding, bruh. Peso and my little friend literally looked like they were being held hostage. Like, damn, who y'all boss? Kim Jong-un? I tried giving my little friend a hug and she gave me not our usual full hug, but the most awkward side hug ever with heavy hesitation. I walk over to Peso and try to give her our usual full hug too, and she full on hit me with the bro dap. Like, damn, Lunch, what I did to make you go from blue to blonde? At this point, I'm confuzzled, cause they acting different, their co-workers and boss acting weird and staring me down suspiciously. Something ain't adding up. So I start anxiously overthinking like, dang, maybe all that flirting we did was just an act. Maybe she was just being nice. Maybe she thinks I'm a fugly weirdo and maybe gossiped to her coworkers, probably flame me up in the group chat. I don't know. My only conclusion that I drew from it was that maybe it had something to do with me and Peso's interaction with each other every time I come in. Anywho, I get what I need, I leave. Literally 15 minutes later, Peso from work texts me, "Why didn't you tell me you were coming to my job?" Which left me so damn confused and shocked because of my prior overthinking. But then my pimp brain started turning on, grew some legs and turned to Womanology chapter 101. And instantly I figured, oh, she still has interest in me because ain't no woman finna text you that if she don't like you. So I replied back, am I supposed to tell you when I'm coming? I didn't get a text back for a while. An hour later, when me and the people I was with were standing outside a clothing store, crazy enough, Peso see me and immediately rushed towards me with the biggest smile and give me the biggest hug, which confused me, but at the same time, all my anxiety and overthinking flew out the window, slime, because if a woman don't like you, she ain't showing no effort at all. She like, I texted you, not realizing I literally texted her back with her phone literally in her hand. I'm like, I know. I replied back. She like, oh, okay. With my little friend coming right after her and hugging me, which confused me again, my nigga. Until my little friend says, sorry, we couldn't hug you at the store. I'm like, why? She's like, it's a rule at the store. I'm like, what the freak? She's like, yeah, it's the dumbest rule ever. And that's when everything started to make sense. That's why they curved me at the store. That's why they were limiting their conversations. That's why they were treating me like I had the plague. That's why they looked like they were being held hostage, which actually really concerned me because nobody should have the fear that I saw in their eyes like that. So something was still kind of off. Like there wasn't no regular, I couldn't hug you at work because of store policy. Like Zoink Scoob. Sounds like we got a mystery on our hands. Fast forward a couple hours later, she finally replies to my "am I supposed to tell you when I'm coming" text. She like, I thought you'd say so I can take my lunch break and spend it with you.
She want me. She want me. She want me.
Okay. So I text her back like, oh, okay, I'm sorry, I didn't know. We can do lunch together some other day. She like, okay, no problem. Fast forward 3 days later, we have our mini lunch date, which was actually really nice. After we ate, I asked her on a real date, which she agreed to. However, she still seemed kind of stressed, like her behavior was very, odd, as if somebody had like a mental chain around her neck, but I brushed it off and ignored it. And what made it more suspicious was I walked her back to not her job, but one of the stores close to her job where her friend was, cause for some reason, she told me I couldn't walk back to her job, which left me kinda skeptical and anxious. But I brushed it off. Are y'all following me? Whole time in the back of my mind, something was vexing me about this situation because something just seemed off about her behavior. Fast forward the next day, which was the day we had our real date, which she tried to suggest a place for us to eat because at the time I was new to Johannesburg, so I didn't know any of good places to eat. But no. I wasn't finna let her lead nothing. Cause one, I'm a man. Men are supposed to lead. And two, I don't know this stranger like that, so she could possibly be trying to set me up. So I hit the Cupid shuffle on Shawty and turned the whole thing around by taking her to a place that I wanted to go. And I did that by going to my South African brother that stays with us and works for us, told him the situation. He was already on the same page because he knows how bad things can get sometimes over there if you're not careful and mess with the wrong people. So he suggested one, this really nice restaurant to take her to, and two, for him to chauffeur us over there so we could be safe, which I happily agreed to. I told Peso I'd come get her after she got off of work. She agreed. Now, this when the game changed and everything started going balls off the walls. That night, he drove me there. I pulled up 30 minutes before she got off, and as soon as she was supposed to be quote unquote clocked out, I called her and got no response. Now, I gave her the benefit of the doubt because she couldn't be on her phone during work, and sometimes it takes a minute for folks to completely clock out, so I waited another 10 minutes, called her again, no response. But you know what? I wasn't mad. I wanted to give her the benefit of the doubt. So I text her, I'ma scoop you up, I'm on my way. Instead of waiting, I thought, just go to her job. There's nothing wrong with that, right? Right? As I walk towards her job, I see her, two of her coworkers, and her boss. I pull up, look dead at them. She act like I don't exist. She ain't even turn around. Her coworkers didn't say nothing, which made me seem a little skeptical, but I gave her the benefit of the doubt. Brushed it off, pulled out my phone, and waited. 5 minutes goes by, and she's still interacting with them, acting like I don't exist. But you know what? Still didn't trip over it, because I'm giving her the benefit of the doubt and a lot of grace. Maybe it's for a reason. So I leave very far down the hall, downstairs back to the main entrance of the mall. Mind you, the mall is almost empty. I call her, no response. What the hell is going on? At this point, my anxiety doing jumping jacks. Until 2 minutes later after the missed call, she texts me some bull. She like, babe, wait. First of all, why are you calling me babe? We're not together. Where are you? I'm like, I'm over by the entrance. She like, please don't ever pass by my store or they'll see you. I got in trouble. Huh? What? The frick is she talking about? You got in trouble for a man coming to pick you up? They should have said something to me about it when I was up there. I know they seen me, they not dumb, but instead they all stood up there like I was Casper, as if they didn't know what was going on. And now they want to punish you because of a man picking you up? Like, why I feel like she's hiding? Who are you hiding from? And is they your co-workers? Bruh, at that point, something was so off that I couldn't let it slide. She told me to go to a certain store back upstairs to meet her at. I found my way there and she looked stressed the freak out. I'm like, what's going on? You all right? She basically told me about the same no relations with customers rule at work and summed up the situation like this. Her boss pressed her about having interactions with me inside and outside the store. Let me say it again. Inside and outside the store. He was threatening to fire her because she, a grown-ass 26-year-old woman, was talking and having interactions with me inside and outside the store. That's why she stressed the freak out. She didn't want to lose her job, and she was in her masculine, heavy, struggling financially, working 2 jobs to take care of herself and her family, which made her stressed out even more. It got so bad to the point where she told me not even to come anywhere in the vicinity of her job. Her boss be all up in her business, monitoring everything she did during and after work. This freaking weirdo would follow her, a grown-ass 26-year-old woman, around and question where she was going. Her co-workers, who originally were nice to me, acted like I was the freaking Joker when I'd passed them in the mall. She told me my name floated around the damn store heavy while I wasn't even there. Like, am I that much of a threat to the young lad? I barely be at the store, my nigga. Gang, her boss threatened to fire her even if they saw me come near the store and would monitor her phone. Like, damn, Mr. Krabs, are you her father or her probation officer? He treated Shawty like Uncle Ruckus' dad from the Boondocks. Woman, did I just catch you trying to be something in life? She told me her coworkers, excluding my little friend, would talk behind my back as if I was her dirty ex-boyfriend. And even then, my little friend even acted like I didn't exist when I passed her in the hall. Like, bruh, I started regretting even buying them socks. Her weirdo weenie warrior boss pretty much covertly banned me from the store for having interest in his employee, which was none of his damn business. You telling me all I gotta do is breathe in that direction and she's fired? Man, somebody sharpen my spear and light my torch. We finna slide on cuz. And she really hated that job. The way she talked about it made it seem like they were paying her pennies to nothing. But it couldn't have been that low of pay, cause you were over here bowing down to Lil Bill cause he threatened to fire you over a love interest that was none of his damn business. So we go on our date and it was actually really fantastic. My one mission for that night was to take her problems away by showing her a good time, because she had so much on her plate that was stressing her out, and her bald, musty, big-eyed, little toe, gap tooth, white knight weenie boss always being down her neck and in her business, monitoring everything she did, influencing her decisions because of me didn't make it any better. And I guess I was doing a really good job because the way she was moving during the date was fire. I ain't even give her to me. But it's like I freaked her mind. The mind meat must have not been good enough though, because her boss still sent her swinging. Our chemistry was immaculate the entire night, bruh, to the point where she thanked me for turning her night around and making her happy, which I'm really proud of myself for succeeding in doing so. Fast forward the day after our date. She texts me good morning with a little blushy face, which didn't faze me at all, cause shorty was wishy-washy due to that stress. One minute she'd be normal, a sweetheart, then the next minute she a thug. Alright, Tupac, I know something out of pocket's gonna happen at some point in time, which is exactly what happened. Everything was good in the morning. I thought I was in the clear for us to interact. Until later that night. Out of nowhere, her thug come out. She texts me, dog, I don't think we should see each other anymore. I might lose my job because of you. There's a lot going on at my job about you. Huh? What? These folks don't want you to have zero love interest or interest at all. And that had me tight, bruh. I made sure to let her know exactly what was on my mind about this entire thing. Hell, you talking about a lot going on about me? I barely go there. I came in, rinsed you up, got some socks, which I spent my hard-earned money on, and left. That bald head, big ear, little foot, white knight weenie just mad because he couldn't do what I did to get you. Fruit Loop, you knew that girl needed that job, so you abused that idea by being all up in a grown-ass woman's business. Like, damn, Benson, take your foot out her gumbo. She wasn't even on the clock, my nigga. You telling me your employees can't be regular human beings? She gonna tell me that they not allowed to have love interest with customers. Like, what is this, prison? I think that's just a bullcrap Lil Bill made up to keep her locked down. See, this is what happens when you give emotionally incompetent weenies a position in high places. They use their authority to control people. Like, bruh, you don't need to be no manager. You need to take your black behind over there ASAP. Which again, this had me pissed. Cause what did I do? Nothing. Am I that much of a threat that some troglodyte decided to get butthurt because I potentially wanted to give his employee a better life? You can't make this up, bruh. After I told her exactly what was on my mind, she was so sad. And that had me sad. Still pissed off, but still sad for her because I knew she was in a tight position. She didn't even say anything after sending them emojis. The next day when I cooled off, I texted her some clarity and had empathy for her. I told her I wasn't mad at her, I was mad at her boss because all that was unnecessary and I understood her situation. She don't got nobody to depend on, so she had to choose the bag. So I can't be mad at that. And understand, she'd be taken care of if we were together, but I didn't want to impulsively jump into a relationship, and I made sure to let her know that. So at the end of the day, she was still sad, but thankful, but still sad. She ain't text me or call me for days after that. And I ain't gonna lie, I really thought it was over and I was ready to let her go. Until one day, before I was about to leave South Africa, she called me, checked up on me, and made it very clear she wasn't going nowhere. And so were the other 3 girls on my phone.
Got him!
My nigga.
I think getting flamed in front of everybody gotta be the worst thing that can happen to you. Like, well, not the worst, but regardless, it ain't fun, bruh. I tell people all the time, keep them jokes on you cause you never know when the enemy gonna pull up and embarrass you in front of either your little friends, randos that think you're a loser later, your haters, or worse, your crush. Happened to me all the time growing up. It still does. See, I look at it like a martial art that every man in school should learn because whether you like it or not, it's a part of school culture. It was the one thing that separated the men from the boys. Bro, if they had a class for roasting, you know how many niggas would sign up? I'm niggas. I probably would have failed the class though, because there's a bunch of dudes way better at it than me walking around with roast power levels of like 100 billion. Those are the dudes you don't want to mess with. Like, you knew who to start it with and who not to based off of if you seen or heard them cooking before, especially the Black Roast Force kid. Y'all know who that is. That one kid that's like an S-tier roaster and got everybody laughing 24/7 and everybody know not to try him. And if he try you, be prepared to be embarrassed and not be able to do anything about it. Every school has one. You weren't finna catch me trying him. Are you crazy? If not a single soul tried to buck at Beerus after he smacked the hairline off of Vegeta for trying to buck, what make you think I'm finna buck at the Black Roast Force kid? And sometimes that ain't even matter, because if they was losing the battle, they direct the attention of the roast onto somebody else to avoid embarrassment. That's what they do. They'll be like, boy, I know you ain't laughing, then proceed to pull a Mustang. Fire your ass up. See, all my life I was thrown in an environment where I was forced to learn how to roast people, because if I didn't, I go home every day with 3rd-degree mental burns. Like at school, bruh, you can get roasted for literally anything. And sometimes just because somebody was bored. You come to school with mismatching brands on, you finna get fired up. You come to school with Assassin's Creed gloves on. You're the GOAT. I love Assassin's Creed, but you finna get fired up. Okay, maybe that's more accepted nowadays since, you know, everybody all of a sudden likes anime and video games and stuff now. Back in the day, they used to make fun of me for watching anime and playing Assassin's Creed and wearing gloves, all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, do they make fun of y'all still nowadays in school? Let me know in the comment section. Anywho, you come to school flooding, you finna get fired up. If your barber forgot to alcohol your head after a cut and you come to school with the back of your head looking like a dread sponge, 1, sue that man, and 2, you might as well slap yourself on the grill cause you finna get barbecued. If you an easy target like I was and you so much as breathe in the direction of a roaster, go ahead and get ready to turn up the heat to 105 cause you finna get fired up, my boy. Now I'm gonna keep it 100. The only reason I was an easy target was because I had a fly mouth, tried to fit in by hanging out with the wrong people, and had many enemies because I'm a nerd who don't let nobody run over me like a doormat. And because of it, I got roasted just for existing. Like, I always got pulled up on by ops of all kind, all the time, no matter where I was. I remember this one day back in high school. I was in 3rd period football. Our facility was getting worked on, so coach took us all to the PE gym to chill. I'm sitting at the top of the bleachers on the 2nd floor trying to finish some homework, right? Everybody downstairs, hee 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 ha, laughing and giggling, roasting each other for like 15 minutes. I'm trying to avoid everybody because I already don't like none of them up in there. Just me. That's how I wanted it. Next thing I know, I hear footsteps. Tell me why. 15 of my teammates walk up the stairs to where I was, surrounded me, pulled up like the 10 Commandments did to Meliodas, and proceeded to barbecue cook my ass for no reason. And I'm not exaggerating this. 15 of my teammates surrounded me. I counted. I don't think y'all understand the amount of static you gotta shock into someone to have a bunch of people pull up on you like that. It's not normal. If it's a fight or anything, 1, I'm tiny. 2, boy, I am not tough. I'm finna channel my inner Jake Paul and get to stepping. Like, bro, this was a roast occur that I couldn't escape. So I stayed there and stood my ground. So I'm sitting there about to take the hits, nervous, hands shaking, legs quaking, irritated. Like, bruh, what now? State your business, cause I ain't with the coonery today, which didn't matter cause they were. Like, I already knew what the rock was cooking cause me and my teammates already had static from past experiences. They was getting personal, trying to break me mentally, talking about my looks, my status, my mama, my pops, my dreams, goals, my non-existent love life, all type of da-da-da, word to my mother. So when none of that worked, they started physically threatening me, but not one of them touched me because they knew what type of timing I was on. My mindset with that was, if I'ma die, I'm taking at least one of you with me. And I was dead serious too. Somebody would have got that monkey chop to the throat. Now, did I win the 1v15? Hell no. What I look like, Madara? I can't take on all my ops at once. Bro, when coach told us to leave, boy, I came out that hole looking like Dobby. Came out that mug with 5th-degree burns. Shoo. See, this is why you always gotta max out your roasting skill, bro, wherever you go, because you never know what could happen. I don't know about y'all, but at my schools growing up, jokes were mandatory because roasting for us was like our sword and shield, because we knew if your roasts could make everybody laugh, you won the battle and gained a new enemy. It wasn't no retiring roasting, bruh. You were stuck in that constant cycle until graduation. That was our thing. You live by the roast, you graduate by the roast. Big Dog Incorporated. How may I Shut up. I don't care about your morning routines. Pull up to the crib right now. We playing Storm 4. Man, say less. The party is... Get the fuck out. Introverts, extroverts. I really can't say that I'm either or because I excel in both categories. However, one is just harder to maintain than the other. You can go as far as to say, I'm gonna make up a word for it. Omnivert. Wait, is that a word already? Let me look that shit up real quick. I've been tug of warring with both of these traits for a majority of my life. That's right. I'm a hybrid, baby. And I'm finna show y'all exactly why. Most people that know me or they've talked to me in the past, they said I come off as an extrovert and were shocked when I told them I'm actually more of an introvert. No, baby. I'm just forcing the extrovert side out of me because I have to, which requires me to become social for a certain amount of time. You ever been an introvert at an extroverted job? It'll get your blood boiling. You gotta talk to humans. Welcome to Big Dog Eats My... hold up, give me a second. Welcome, Big Dog. Would you like to try our new Mix 'em Up combo? If not, order when you're ready. I'm telling you, boy, you gotta catch me on the right days. Some days, I might be the life of the party. But then other days, you might find me in the corner shooting dice with myself. Don't be showing up to my house without telling me beforehand or I'ma ask you to leave. Like, I guess you could call me a popular loner. I don't know. People get pissed off when they hear that term. They be like, oh, he's a sad, lonely. No. We're not sad and lonely. We just enjoy being away from you. When I tell y'all I tug of war with both of these traits daily, I'm not capping. Majority of the time, I love staying in my house, but I love doing stuff and going out. However, when I go out and do stuff, my social battery dies fast. And I think I finally found out the reason why. My introvert side is so much stronger that I get pleasure from being alone. Thus me being a popular loner. Like when I'm able to just sit alone and think, I get pleasure from that. So when you see me deep in thought, leave me the fuck alone. I'm having fun. You're ruining it. But then at the same time, my extroverted side, when that small percentage comes out, when you see me turning up, ain't no standing around. You might as well turn up with me because I got a time limit. We don't have long before I'm ready to go to the crib. All this courage I built up to dance in front of people or be loud in front of people and be myself or just to get to know somebody when I really don't feel like getting to know somebody cannot be in vain. Because I'm the type of person where if I go to a party, depending on what timing I'm on, I'll act accordingly. If I know you like talking and you're a social butterfly, I'm gonna use you as a social shield so I won't have to talk to people. Oh yeah, I get real selfish when I'm on my introvert timing. Like even if we're close friends, don't call me 24/7 expecting me to pick up and give you 120% of my energy 25/8 at a time. Cause when I'm on that type of timing, I get annoyed really fast. If we haven't talked in months, I'm perfectly fine with that. The only 3 people that should be calling me 24/7 are me, myself, and I. Like y'all ever talk to somebody and your social battery just dies mid-conversation? That happens to me all the time. Like I don't care if I was talking to Kanye, my battery's gonna die mid-conversation unless I'm on my extroverted timing where I have to force myself to raise my energy so I can talk to any and everything that moves. I was at a family barbecue the other day. I was looking down at my phone for majority of the time, but at the same time, I was looking out of my peripherals and I seen my grandmas and my aunties and my granddads and my uncles all looking at me for whatever reason, like I'm supposed to turn up the party or something. Like, my nigga, get off my chesticles. And then they try to do like small talk and shit. I hate small talk, bruh. I'd rather you hit me with some deep conversations or just an interesting topic, like how puppies can read our minds or some shit. But niggas always talking about some, man, well, how was your day? What you doing lately? Nigga, we ask the same questions every time we go to family dinners. When can we talk about spaceships or something? Or going to the, I think I'm ranting at this point. I can recall a lot of times when I used to live with my parents and people would come over and I'm in my room and I was having the time of my life by myself and I wanted something to eat or drink and I had to go through the living room just to go get that exact thing. And I knew if I made my presence known, I would have to interact. It wasn't because I was shy. It was because of the small talk that I knew was coming. I'm telling y'all, I really hate small talk. It's so bad to the point where I remember this one time I walked out of my house and I was about to go to my car, right? I see my neighbor, she walks out of her car. I'm like, oh shoot. I already know she's gonna talk to me and try to get small talk out out of me. Let me go ahead and walk my ass back in the house. Like, y'all ever done that before? I know I'm not the only one that does that. Come on now. Speaking of talking, I'm very dangerous when it comes to my introvert side. I pay attention to everything. So that means I can figure you out just by listening and watching. I will sit there, shut up, and listen to you talk while you tell me everything about yourself. And at the end of this conversation, I'm gonna know everything about you and you will know nothing about me. Why? Because I sat down and I listened. Now, if somebody catches me on my extrovert timing, I'm gonna do exactly the opposite of what I just said. I get too comfortable and then I yap for as long as you want me to, as much as you'll let me. And then I start oversharing things, and then I realize to myself after this conversation that, dang, maybe I shouldn't have opened my mouth in the first place. A couple days ago, I went on my Instagram and I did a poll on my story just to see if y'all were introverts or extroverts, just to find out that a lot of y'all were the thin line between, just like me. And you know what? I know I wasn't the only one. My people. All right, I'm gonna keep it $1.50 because I don't need your 2 cents. I done been to a lot of toxic places that turn you from a gummy bear to Alphonse Elric in my life. Whether it be MW3 lobbies, all of Twitter, 7-Elevens, but none of them hold more weight in the round table of toxicity like lunchroom tables do. Except for Rod Wave, but we ain't finna talk about that. But you know what? At the same time, it's actually a blessing. Because even though it's a toxic place, inside a toxic place, when I was a kid, lunchroom tables were a big deal. It's one of the few spots in school where a person can find out what social group they belong to. Because whatever group you belong to, you're treated accordingly. Without remorse too, because like, kids, when they're super young, are already rude and brutally honest enough, and it may get worse when they get older. Now imagine that at school, but 10 times worse. Okay, I see lunch tables like the 4 nations in Avatar: The Last Airbender, right? You get whatever nation you get, and you stay there. Let somebody at a preppy table you sitting at find out you from the nerd table. It's a wrap. You can't blame nobody but yourself. Like, bruh, you can't expect peace when you're in op territory. It's impossible. Unless that one dude that's basically like the lunchroom avatar, the dude that can fit in with every social group saves you, which might as well be a pipe dream because that only happens once every 100 years. Bro, all I'm saying is go where you fit in and don't try to fit in because it never works. For example, if a shoe doesn't fit, you don't blame the shoe, you just go find another. So if you don't fit in at a certain table, don't blame the people because you don't click with them. Just go find somewhere else that you do click. Throw the deuces up and go find your crew. It's that simple. Today, I'm gonna be letting it rip on a couple lunch tables that may or may not have grinded my gears back in the day. So if you graduated a long time ago like me, then put whatever table you used to belong to in the comment sections below. And the same thing for anybody that's in school right now. All right, so let's start off with the preppy table. The worst of them all. It's basically a bunch of rude, fake, stuck up, ego inflated, narcissistic yes men that think the world revolves only around them. This group usually consists of a bunch of stuck up white folks with at least 1 or 2 stuck up Asians, with at least 1 stuck up black guy, and that 1 mixed chick that only hangs out with white folks, which is completely fine, but dang, sometimes you just gotta put a little spice in your ramen, you know what I mean? The preppy girls usually wore like small shorts, Converse, and big ass t-shirts that make the whole fit look like they ain't got no drawers under. The preppy guys usually wear little ass shirts with a North Face jacket and little bitty shorts that look like booty shorts. Golly, bro focusing on the wrong cake. I'ma keep it gravy with y'all. I hate these people for the simple fact that they ain't down to earth. If you ain't a part of their little cult, they'll treat you like Beerus did King Vegeta. Like, bruh, y'all ain't got no business treating folks like the gum I spat out and put under my desk. And they be like real quick to shun anybody that ain't a part of their little group. Like, bro, to basically sum it up, if you ain't a part of their clique, what you say ain't finna make them tick. Moving on. Next, we got the nerd table. The best, most authentic, most coolest table in all of school history. Can't nobody tell me otherwise. At this table, it's cut up into 2 parts. The weirdo weirdos and the cool weirdos. I was a part of the cool weirdos. You know, the people that beat themselves and were genuinely cool to be around. Sure, we couldn't dress to save our lives, had 0 game with females, beat our meat probably about 3 to 4 times a week and got picked on a lot, but at least we wasn't out here getting in trouble with the law, catching diseases, making unplanned babies, and stirring up unnecessary drama. Put that on your resume. At our table, we accepted everybody, even if you didn't watch anime, play video games, crack dark humor jokes, and traded cards like we did. Dog, I'm a nerd to this day. Plus, we're actually bearable to talk to, unlike our counterparts. the weirdos. Yeah, they had all the base traits like us, but you couldn't sit by them for more than 5 seconds without them eating a booger or making the conversation super uncomfortable. Like, whoa, relax. Poon Slayer 56, you got about 38 more minutes until you go back to the netherworld. Moving on. Next, we got the basic black and white people table. Polar opposites. I say that because the basic black folks table is where all the loudest, funniest, most lit people in times are. Ain't no intellectual stuff going on over there, just pure fun and ignorance. If you want to learn how to roast somebody with maximum efficiency, go to that table. However, be warned, this table is not for the faint of heart. And I say that with the utmost seriousness and experience myself. Be ready to take in what you dish out, cause ain't nothing sweet over there when you roasting, homeboy. If you walk over there unwilling to take mental hits, then you pretty much just trying to poke a stick at a pack of wolves. Now, the basic white folks table is pretty much the opposite, where all the boring stuff happens. That's it. Moving on. Next, we got the athletes table. The most annoying, fakest, ego-inflated, Chad-ass table known to man. It's consisted of a bunch of low-life, energy-sucking, insecure nobodies with the need for social validation because their mamas told them that they should have been swallowed, so they cope with the thought by picking on the weak. Now, I'll admit it. Yes, I'm a nerd, and I was an athlete, but for most of my life, I tried to fit in every social group. So pretty much for majority of that time, just like them, I tried to seek social validation from every social group. I tried to be liked, primarily because I was always the underdog. I was never in the spotlight. Every time I tried sitting over by my teammates, I was the primary target. That's where I gained most of my character development from. I tried to act like them, tried to dress like them, tried to involve myself with them, which worked a lot, especially when I got stronger than everybody, but I still got picked on because when they seen I was starting to get confidence and started standing up for myself, they started to have a superiority complex over me. Nobody put me through more mental gymnastics than my Chad ass teammates did. Heck, I even made a video on one of those moments. Oh, also, I can't forget about that one guy that's always at random tables pocket watching your plate. He'll always hit you with the, you gonna eat that? Like, boy, if you don't go on somewhere, it's your big hungry, big booger bear looking at. No, you can't eat my porridge, nigga. All right, I'ma head out. Sensei Dev, logging out. I don't know about y'all, but am I the only one that's hated every single 9 to 5 I've worked at in the past? Like, bruh, I worked at fast food places, hibachi restaurants, the block. Man, I got that God of War and that Crash Bandicoot. What you trying to do? Yeah, the playground for me back in middle school was a no-go. All those 9 to 5s had one thing in common that made me want to lock myself in the car and throw the keys out the window. Dickhead bosses. Like, bruh, I honestly feel like they be giving power to the wrong people that they know is gonna abuse it. Like, why are you making my day even worse than it already is? I already gotta come here and accrue money to survive. Like, I done seen some stuff, bruh. Bosses be doing stuff that they think makes sense, but really doesn't make sense. Ugh. Hey, I got in a car wreck. I don't think I'm gonna make it to work today. Okay, how long before you make it to work?
What the Didn't I just tell y'all I'm in a wreck?
Okay, how far away are you? I'm 30 minutes away. All right, you gotta find some way to get here because it's almost your time to clock in. I can't walk. We live in the middle of butt frick nowhere. We don't have Ubers. How many times I gotta tell you I can't make it to work? Well, you better find some way to get here or you're fired.
Okay, listen here, you mother... Oof, I'm barely making it out alive and you want me to still make it to work? You stupid bitch!
And these be the same people that do outlandish stuff just because they can. Hey, can you pull a double today? Nah, I gotta go to my auntie's funeral. Okay, so I got you down for a double. Dude, who you think you is? You not finna make me do nothing. You do what I tell you to do, slave. Now do the double or you're fired. Now get back to work. Ah, son of a bitch! Back in 2016, at my very first job, about a year in, one day we got a new boss. We're not gonna use her real name, we're gonna call her Tara. And off the dribble, she was a pain in everybody's butt. She was overly aggressive 24/7, and if you matched her energy, she threatened to fire you. She roasted folks in the back and got super offended when you roasted back. And if it was too much for her, get what? Fired. She never let us rest, and if you did, fired. She talked to everybody like we were freaking 5, and if we matched her energy, get what? Fired. But, and it pains me to say this, I mostly let it slide. Not only because I didn't have a backbone to stand up for myself and was too lazy to go find another job if she fired me, but because of that bakery. Golly, what a wagon she was dragging. Man, that booty alone could take down an army. That thing was massive. And so was her forehead, because when she took off that hat, golly, Shorty had the Mega Mind DLC with the Jimmy Neutron patch update. Like, she ain't even got a forehead. She got a 5 head. Bruh, you know you got a big forehead when you can put all 5 fingers on it and still have space left. I'm talking about everybody used to roast her forehead. But like I said before, if it got too much for her, then you know. But here's the thing. I don't feel bad for her because she always started it first. And oh boy, it always got bad. I remember this one time we was about to close, right? I'm at the station cleaning. She walked by and looked dead at me with my hat off and eviscerated my hairline. Golly, boy, I don't know who cut your hair, but they need to be arrested. Sheesh. Whoever cut your hair got the IQ of an avocado. Bro, I'm talking about she was going in, spamming the square, X, triangle, R2 button, whatever button known to man on my hairline, bro, for no reason. I couldn't just clean my station in peace. And she thought things was sweet over here because I let her ramble on. But she ain't understand I was finna unload the clip on that ass. So I stop her. I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa. I see where you're headed, but it ain't the right direction. Boy, you barbecued. Why you look like Elizabeth from Code Lyoko? Oh, my bad. Y'all must be twins. I mean, I can't tell. Both of y'all heads built like kneecaps. And you ain't fooling nobody. I know you got a second job. Oh, all right. You must be the one hosting football games in that dome. So tell me, who gonna win tonight? The Jets or the Panthers? Shoot, the Crimson Chin ain't got nothing on you. You the Crimson Head, ugly alley girl. I don't know why you here. You'll never go broke. They can just rent parking spaces out on your forehead. Man, I was going ballistic on Shorty 5 head, and she was 38 hot, ready like pizza. And next thing I know, everybody to the back. Since Devonte wants to be a clown, I'ma invite y'all to the circus. Ain't nobody going home till I say so.
Boy, ain't no way, boy.
Hell no, man.
Boy, ain't no way, boy.
Yeah, that's right. Thank you, coworker. See, when she said that to everybody, I knew I was the center dot on the dot board. I really wanted to be like, it ain't my fault the hoe couldn't take a joke. But I ain't say nothing about what actually happened because like I said before, I didn't have a backbone to speak my mind and was too lazy to go find another job. So I just held my tongue and just took in all the reactions. Bruh, she was so butthurt she made all of us stay 2.5 extra hours after closing until she approved what she thought was clean. Dude, we cleaned up areas that we already went over 3 times before. Bruh, that place looked like the future Chrome Krusty Krab, and she still told us to clean it up over and over and over. I'm talking about everybody was pissed at me, and I don't blame them because hell, I wanted to go home. Almost had me about to quit or just really confess about what really happened. But now that I think about it, would that really change anything? She probably still would have made us overly clean up if I had told them that she just in her feelings and couldn't take what she dished out, and now she's making us do all this. And what had me befuddled was when I overheard her talking to herself talking about, I know where y'all ain't headed tonight. Man, when I heard that, bro, I could tell she was really happy about getting it back in blood, especially with all that abuse of power. Y'all, don't be like Tara. Learn to take what you dish out. Don't get in your feelings when you want smoke, and smoke is what you get. All right, y'all, so this story happened when I was 16 years old, back in 2016. I am 22 right now. That year was pretty interesting because, you know, I got my first car, crashed it a week later. I got assaulted by a stressed out 40-year-old. I got my first job. I got called a Nick. You finish that sentence. By my best friend's dad. Watched as my mom almost beat the fuck out of my principal. You feel me? Like a lot of shit went down, you feel me? However, I don't think any of those will top what happened during the day of the fire drill. I remember it like it was yesterday because everything went left, like cha-cha slide left. Now, I don't know what type of black Air Forces I was smoking back then, but it must have been the high tops because I was on menace timing. My bad, when it came to football, of course. Shoot, it wasn't my fault. The hate I was getting was slowly making me savage. I was always on menace timing during football because of the simple fact that me and the players, the staff too, we didn't really get along. I wasn't one of the popular people. I was the underdog. I wasn't gang, so I couldn't hang. I was at like the middle of the food chain, so every chance they got, they tried to hold me for no damn reason. I'm just trying to drink some chocolate milk and go back to class. Leave me alone. Everybody on that damn team had me going through character development, especially in the locker rooms. But you know what? I wasn't no meow. They was giving me hell, so I gave them hell back. Oh yeah, I was quiet, but little did they know, I was one of the biggest trash talkers up in there. And I was one of the top 5 strongest people up in there. And best believe I used that to my advantage because every time I was provoked, I would counter provoke them 10 times harder and they would get pissed every time. Which makes no sense to me because don't open the door and be afraid of what's gonna come out. Like I knew what I was doing. I knew the consequences, but I ain't give a fuck. Which brings us back to the day of the fire drill. Oh my gosh, bruh. I got so sick of their shit, nigga. I remember it was like English or math. I can't remember which class it was, but it was a fire drill and they told everybody to go outside in the fields and chill out till everything settled. The little alarm started going off, woo, woo, so we all get to stepping. We all get down to the soccer fields, right? And there was like this fence that separated everybody. Like whatever side of the school you came out of, that's the side you were gonna be on. I get to the fence, right? Big chillin'. I ain't trying to bother nobody. Next thing I know, I hear a crowd of hooligans trying to intimidate me for no damn reason. At this point, looking back on it, I think they were just bored. Or they probably felt like I was an easy target that they could just pick on and make themselves look good in front of everybody else. And they just got to quacking off at the mouth. I'm talking about, you're trash. Raka, 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 raka. We'll beat your ass. Blah, 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 blah. We'll blah, blah, blah. Wooka, wooka, wooka. Meanwhile, I'm just sitting there like, damn. So this is where my villain origin story begins, huh? And me and majority of the team already had beef. Like I ain't like none of them niggas. I ain't want no peace from anybody because it was impossible. I was the outcast. I only had a select few people in there that I actually enjoyed talking to, like no new friends, no new friends, no new. I stayed down from day one. So I rebuttal back with all the smoke. I'm like,
Man, shut your bitch ass up, nigga. Nobody asked you how to bitch ass thing. You better shut the fuck up before I knock your fucking head off your shoulders, old ugly ass bitch.
man, y'all, they looked at me like, how dare you? As if I'm not supposed to talk my shit back, like make it make sense. If A plus B equals C, then what the fuck y'all want me to do? So then the dude in the middle, Cam, the all-star athlete that had everybody on his dick, he was like, who you think you talking to? You do realize we can jump you. The only thing saving you right now is this fence. Number one, you came for me first. Number two, y'all really think I cared if a fence was separating me? I don't care if these niggas was on the same side as me. I would've did the same thing. I don't care. Cause I ain't have nothing to lose. I don't fight to fight. I fight to kill. Like before that day, I let a lot of things slide, but at that very moment, I threw all that out the window. Like this wasn't no movie. The smart thing to do was to just walk away. But then I thought to myself, what if this was a movie? What I said afterwards basically went like this.
Look, you, the plane you flew in on, them shoes, those socks with the bell on it, your ass fairy accent, them cheap ass cigars, your yuck mouth teeth, your hairpiece, your chocolate, Guy Ritchie, Prince William, the Queen. And if I see you in the street, I'm slapping the shit out of you.
Bruh, I'll probably never forget what Cam said afterwards. Probably, like, nigga, I'm getting flashbacks. My head's starting to hurt hearing it again. He was like, you know what? We're gonna jump you after school. Matter of fact, we're gonna do it during school and nobody's gonna do anything about it. And I knew exactly when he was talking about. He was talking about third period football workouts. The period where when my coach shut that door, anything was bound to happen. Now you think I would be nervous and scared, but no. It was quite the opposite. I was ready to die on that hill and take a couple bodies with me. In the moment, I really thought I was on some anime shit. Like, bro, I was ready to give everybody the Mickey Mouse move. Like, nigga, what? You want some? You trying to fight me?
You know, I do to niggas. I didn't choose thug life. Thug life chose me.
Subconsciously, I knew that was impossible. There was just too many of them. I knew I couldn't take on every single person that was gonna try to jump me that day, but like I said, I was ready to throw it all away. Cause you get to a point where you just tired of being tired, bro. Like you tired of being a doormat. Like, get off my dick. I knew they were dead serious. That's why I wanted to leave there on a 20 kill streak. And I'm not playing fair. I'm playing dirty. If I'm going 6 feet under, I'm gonna take somebody with me. I don't care if I had to pick up a dumbbell, a 10-pound weight. Nigga, I'm not fighting with these hands. Fuck I look like? Meliodas? Saitama? Mikey? Rock Lee? Niggas getting these motherfucking weapons. Shoot, you would have saw me in there swinging the blades of exile if I had the chance. Shout out my boy Kratos. So fast forward the next day, third period rolls around, and I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Was I nervous? Not really. I was more focused than I ever have been in my life. Nigga, I was ready to throw it all away. I was ready to bring the shovel and karate these niggas. There was a pathway that everybody had to go through that leads to the pathway to the door that leads into the facility. I'm gonna try my best to map it out for y'all. I get to pathway 1, and so far, the ghost is clear. But everything changed when I got to pathway 2. I remember this vividly. I get around the corner, I see the door wide open, and by 6 of my teammates poking their head out, waiting for me. They wasn't even saying nothing. They was just staring at me. Niggas was standing there like some NPCs. I'm thinking to myself like, So this is where my villain origin story progresses. I see Cam walk up and he's just staring at me, waiting on me too. Like, this is really about to go down. It was not lying when they said nobody was here to save me, because that nigga Coach Addison was in his office, which was on the other side of the building. But you know what? I called they bluff. So I get to walking up there and I'm like, bro, first person to touch me, bro, I'm finna go fight. Whole time I'm on a Nardo Wick type beat. Who won't smoke on me? Who won't smoke on me? Like, bro, I was on it. I get past the 6 guys and Cam, right? And oddly, they didn't touch me when I walked inside, but they were still just staring at me. Like, can you say sneak attack? When I got inside, it was like a 2-way. One side on the left leading to the facility that you do all the equipment and training, and the turf was there, and the other side leading to the locker room, and it was third period. So of course I'm gonna take a left and go to the facility with the turf and the equipment. Like, nigga, we're finna work out right after this. But right now, I'm finna get a pre-workout. You feel me? I walk into the facility, right? Guard still up. I'm about 15 steps in. Next thing I know, while I'm walking, I hear about 30, 40 footsteps behind me. I'm like, oh, brother. I guess this is where my villain origin story peaks. I turn around, bro, and before I can get my bag off of my back, bro, I get speared by Cam. Nigga really hit me with the you. Nigga threw me to the ground with my bag on, right? I somehow get my bag off and we get the scrapping, bro. And we wasn't even fighting for real. We was just grabbing each other and slamming each other to the ground each time. Like, bro, mind you, this nigga is 6'3". I was 5'6". I am still 5'6" to this day. I was just a tad bit stronger than him, just a tad bit. The only advantage he had over me was arm length, and that's about it. Whole time in my mind while I'm fighting this nigga, right, or slamming this nigga, like, what are we doing, WWE? I'm thinking to myself like, hold up, didn't y'all say all y'all was gonna jump me? There's only one person here. Like, I'm not even kidding, bro. Everybody else in the hallway was just sitting there watching us fight. Like, oh, I know what's going on here. It's a bunch of p***s in here. Y'all said y'all was gonna do it. Stand on it. The only thought running through my head when I saw that when I was fighting this nigga was,
Smell like this in here. All y'all smell like this to me.
3 minutes later, Coach Addison walks in and breaks up the fight. He puts them on punishment. Oh yeah, 50 gassers. Football people know. He sends me to class scotch-free, but I'm still pissed off. Whole time in my head, I'm like, hold up, wait a minute. Something ain't right about this. You're punishing them, but not me. Wait. Did we have cameras? And did you watch them do this? If that was the case, Addison, you a hoe for that. Fast forward next day, Spanish class. I remember it like it was yesterday. I will not use this nigga's real name. We're just gonna call him Darren. Darren walks up to me, and this is a person that I, number one, don't talk to a lot. Number two, is a part of the same clique that was like, oh, I'm gonna jump you. But I ain't do nothing but just sit there and watch. I was in the back of the class, right? Darren walks up to me, he's like, if you ever talk about our squad again, we'll come for you. And he did it behind my ear, which made me even more pissed, like he was trying to intimidate me or something. Bro, when I tell you, I turned to this nigga, looked him in his eye in front of everybody and was like, who the fuck are you talking to? Shut your bitch ass up before I rip your fucking spine out of your body. Teacher looked at me so crazy, I think he knew what was up because he ain't do nothing about it. Darren didn't say nothing afterwards. He just got up and walked away. Ah, you must have expected a different answer. No. You picked the wrong one, my boy. Let me make this freaking clear. I know how to choose my battles wisely, especially now. However, I am not a tough guy by any means. I am a nerd to the core, but I am not gonna sit here and let no nigga beat me in front of everybody. That's not how I was raised. You know who still talked about their homies afterwards? Me. You know who didn't do a thing about it? Take a wild guess. The Warriors ain't the only ones celebrating, cause we hit 100K! Woo! My second 100K plaque on the way! Woo! Man, rest up, OG channel, rest up. I used to have this friend that did crazy shit for absolutely no reason. We're not gonna use his real name, we're gonna call him Kevin. No matter how serious it was, bro used to put me through the worst situations for his own entertainment. And it always used to make me wanna get the biggest AR, load the mag, go to the nearest swap, and dump the clip into my foot. Like, I don't know what coochie this man came from, but it couldn't have been a civilized human being. Like, that boy was raised by either the Joker and Harley Quinn or Majin Buu and Toga. It was one semester in sophomore year of college. He came to me in need of a favor. I said, look, man, what's the catch? Because there was always a catch to whatever he was asking me about. He said, listen, I came to you because you have a lot of female acquaintances, which I did. So I was wondering if any one of them were looking for a man. I said, yeah, one of them, the rest want to be 304s. He said, perfect. I got this homie looking for love. I was wondering if you could set him up on a blind date. Now in my head, I'm like, finally, this thing is trying to do something nice for once instead of terrorizing me and stroking his chesticles about it later. Pause. So I agreed to the favor and hit up one of my homegirls. We're not gonna call her by her real name. We're gonna call her Kiki. So I asked him what the guy's name was. He said the guy's name is Ash. Like from Pokemon? Yes. What hood he from? The Sinnoh or the Johto? This ain't time for jokes, Devonte. I'm on a time crunch. Do we live with his parents or did he leave when he was 10? Your parents must be real proud, huh? Nick, my parents. Now this wasn't no regular blind date. We get to his house, right? Me and Kevin set up everything and put our two contestants in their seats with their chairs facing the opposite directions. Bro was geeked. He over there like, I used to pray for times like this to rhyme like this. She like, so I had to grind like that to shine like this. So I'm like, oh, okay. They chemistry kind of nice. They already vibing. Bro was on point. Put this man in the NBA finals with Steph and them, cause it's like he couldn't miss. He was rizzing Shawty up like it was nothing. Bro really activated his Mangekyo Rizzagon and put her in a Genjutsu. Like, it was crazy. He had better riz than me when I'm at my most confident form. Now at that point, I thought everything was gonna be good. Everything was gonna be cool. Everything was gonna be cordial. But this when everything changed. 20 minutes into their conversation, I look at bro, he start twitching. I'm like, boy, what the hell? I can't tell if he off a perk or possessed by a demon. Like, I'm so glad she didn't see what I saw, because if she did, she would have went from WAP to what? So I shook it off and kept it to myself so they can continue that conversation. Next thing I know, he twitched again. I'm like, hold up. Somebody tossed me the death note. This boy got a Shinigami. I'm gonna need a restraining order so he can stay 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 million miles away from me. I let it slide again, but that's it. And then he started twitching again. This fool has the 9-tailed fox inside of him. And what really grinded my gears even more is when things went from recruit to prestige. When after she said a joke and he laughed and she finished off the joke, she was like, like, are you blind? He like, I am. Mind you, these two haven't seen each other yet. She ain't believe him. She was like, you're joking, right? He like, no, I'm actually blind. I can't see. For real? I knew it. I knew there was a catch to it. She like, oh, I'm sorry. I don't think this will work out then. Then he started twitching. I go get Kevin, bring him outside. I'm like, why you didn't tell me he was blind? He like, I bet you didn't see that coming. You mother, bro was twitching in there. He making me nervous. Like, I know he can't see these hands, but Ash finna catch him. I'm jumping at Kevin's neck for like 5 minutes. Next thing I know, we hear Dum Dum inside talking about, Kiki, do you love me? Are you riding? That didn't sound normal. So I go back inside. It looks like his blood is boiling because he could not take rejection. Come to find out, he's very emotionally unstable and controlling. Like, bro, pick a disability. But this when his whole situation took a 180. He run outside. I'm like, yes, he ain't finna yin yang yo my shit or hers. When I heard that, my heart didn't even drop to my ass. It dropped out of my ass. Pause. I thought bro had the blicky on him. I go check outside. He at my car with a sharp object. Number one, what the f you get that from? Number two, why he at my car? He may be blind, but if he touch Musabi, he finna see his creator. He like, that's right, Kiki. I'm at your car. Why you do me like that? We could have been something. We were vibing. If I can't have her, no one will. Bro popped all, and I mean every one of my tires. I'm like, oh my. See, this is why. She like, mellow, chill, he can't see. Then I look at Kevin. Kevin looked confused. I'm like, you may be 6'4", 250, but these hands finna put you on a diet. He like, what I do? I'm like,
Out to the street, bro. I will beat your motherfucking ass.
he kept taking the situation like it was a joke. He like, listen, I can see why you're mad, but you gotta see this situation from a clear eye view. You know what I told my barber I wanted before I got here? What did he want? The fade.
Hey, listen.
All right, y'all. So growing up, hey, slow down, my brother. What you doing? Tell him. Oh, all right, my bad. This video is a remastered version of a video that I decided to not re-upload to this new channel. Instead, I decided to remake it. As I was saying, growing up, I was the type of person that wasn't rebellious unless necessary. If the situation called for me to be rebellious, then I'm jumping to the gun, no hesitation. Boom, splat, reload. There have been many times in my about to be 23 years in November on this planet that I had no choice for it to be this way. One time my dad, he threatened to take my check, my hard-earned check that I slaved over for weeks, and my 9 to 5 back when I was 19 over some dumb shit. I told him to eat it. Well, I didn't tell him to eat a dick, but that's what I was thinking in my head when I didn't give him the check. Because I didn't want to end up in a casket floating down a river somewhere. Like, y'all ever had somebody try to take money from you? You feel violated. People do not play about money. Like, have you seen Family Guy? I ain't trying to end up like Brian. You know what Stewie did? Huh? Like, who the fuck you think you is trying to take my money? Like, you weren't in the back slaving, dealing with customers and getting threatened by your boss and getting rolled up by your shift manager and dealing with your coworkers not wanting to work and having to keep a smile on your face while you deal with customers that want to take your head off because you got the order wrong. Like, we getting off track. Anywho, my parents, they always raised me to listen to higher authority and follow rules and regulations because they're there for a reason. However, me, I had a threshold. I'ma listen to you until you break that threshold, and it's always for a reason. For example, Devonte, go do the dishes. It's disgusting in there. Mom, there's literally one dish. I don't need the lip. Just go do them. Yes, ma'am. Devonte, go fight that lion. Oh, you talking about me? Yes, you want me to go fight that? I don't need the lip. Just go do it. Like I said, it's always for a reason. I remember this one day, 5 years ago in my senior year of high school, something happened in math class that broke that threshold. I decided to go to school that day with pants with little pockets. And I don't know if y'all know about pants with little pockets, but they have stuff fall out easily whenever you sit down anywhere. You know, I was walking around with little midget pockets, but it's okay, because I was fresh to death, you know. Ain't nobody don't at me. I'm just so fresh and so clean. Man, I was on my P's and Q's, you dig? I was keeping it together all day. Phone falling out, pencils falling out, everything. The only thing that didn't fall out was them rubber. I get to math class. My teacher, we're gonna call her, I don't want to use her real name, we're just gonna call her Karen, big booty white lady. She had that thing in every class. Every time she turned around, we saw all of her assets. Only problem I had with her is that she was so fucking annoying. Come to the board, 3 + 4. Baby, listen, do you realize if I come to the board, something might poke you? And I ain't talking pencils. Always showing us her kids and stuff like we care. Like, do you want another one? We had a test that day, and she told everybody before the test to put your phones away, and if she sees it or hears it, she's going to take it up. Now, the smart thing to do in this situation is to put my phone on silent and put it in my bag. What did I do? The opposite. I kept it in my midget pocket pants. I decided to take the risk of leaving my phone in my pants because I didn't plan on moving a lot anyway. I was trying to cheat, not because my whole class was doing it. I did it of my own accord. I wasn't ready for this test and I wasn't ready to fail. And I don't know if you know this, but cheating requires you to move a little bit. Whether you writing notes down on your arm, writing on the desk and covering it with the test paper, blocking your phone with your legs so you can use Quizlet or Google, anything of that nature, you gotta move a little bit. By the way, I do not condone cheating, so hop off my meat. So we start the test, and as suspected, I was struggling to keep this phone in my pocket while taking the test. So I was like, all right, okay, back it up, pickup truck, put the keys out the ignition, throw them on the floor. Let me push this phone as deep as possible inside of these midget pockets as I can so it won't fall out. That didn't last long because one of my peers right next to me, he turns to me and he's like, hey, you know what I'm saying? Toss me one of those answers, holla at me. And my first instinct was to turn slightly to his direction. And that's what screwed me over. Cause as soon as I turned slightly to his direction, the phone falls out. I'm like, oh shit, oh shit. Soon as the phone fell on the floor, I turned my head to Karen and the look on her face told me everything. I'm like, oh shoot. I turned to pick my phone off the floor. I look back up, she's already at my desk. I'm like, how the, huh? She looked me dead in my soul and was like, don't hide it, give it to me. Did you pay for this? I ain't running you this phone till you run me a check.
Hello, this is your service provider. How may I assist you?
Did she pay for this phone?
Hell to the no.
That's what I thought. Now, before I lose my patience, I'ma ask you kindly to build a bridge and walk the other direction. Okay, I didn't say all that. I said that all in my mind. However, I did say no to her and she was shocked as if she just assumed I was gonna automatically cooperate because of fear. No, baby, I'm the brave and the bold. I had two options, either give her the phone and have my parents come pick it up after school or keep the phone, go to ISS and still have my parents told about the situation. So basically this whole ultimatum was a double-edged sword. I was gonna get cut either way. So I was like, F it. You know what? I'm gonna go with the second option because of two reasons. One, I needed my phone for work, which I had to go to right after school ended. And two, I didn't want my mom or dad to take off work and drag their behinds down to the school over something that could have been avoided. Cause like I said, it was a double-edged sword. She sent me to the office. My mom chewed me out because I had to listen to authority when I didn't. I got in trouble regardless. Thanks, Karen. All right, y'all, I'm gonna be honest. Me personally, I ain't a clubbing guy. I'm more of a group gathering type of person, you know, the anime binge night or go out and do whatever with the homies and a couple girls we bring along, if any at all. I'll still go to them, that's no problem, but I just personally think all forms of clubs are freaking boring. I used to hear the rappers all the time. I be in the club, this, I be popping bundles, that, thinking I would have the time of my life until I went to my first club and my expectations were shot to the ground. It was one of those, hey girl, let me buy you a drink, come to my booth type of clubs. No sir, that ain't for me. If there ain't no dancing from the time I walk in, you can go ahead and find me posted up in the corner somewhere with my little margarita waiting for the rumbling to happen. I need to see excessive ratchetness and somebody breaking a leg and an ankle on the dance floor. Who finna start it? Not me. No sir. I realized after my 7th time going to a club that house parties put clubs to shame way later. So I stopped going for a while until last year in 2022 when I took a trip to Atlanta to be on Holla's podcast. Now, this club experience was slightly different. So let me tell y'all how it went. Okay, so that week I took my older brother and my two homeboys, Arius the Aquarius and Amaris LSK with me along for the trip because I wanted my brother and Arius to get some exposure. Amaris just wanted to come along. I didn't need the exposure because duh, I'm Devonte The One. I'm already a big creator. I've already built my empire by myself after 14 years of doing YouTube, so I planned this trip only for them. So me, my brother, and Arius get to the hotel. I FaceTime Holla. Mind you, me and Holla already knew each other. We just didn't meet in person until this trip. He ain't know the others though. So we chopping it up. I'm telling him this my second time in Atlanta, and I ain't really explored a place like that before, which is what we were gonna do after the podcast. So then he offers to be our tour guide around the city after the podcast episode was done, which was great because Holla knows his way around town. town and he's got connections throughout the city, so why not? And the first place he brought up showing us was the strip clubs. Now before this day, I ain't never been to a strip club in my life. I only been to normal clubs, block parties, and house parties. Plus, I always thought strip clubs was a waste of time, especially if you broke. So I avoided them like fat people avoid a diet. Kinda hesitant at first, but seeing as I never experienced it before, neither did my homies, I decided, you know what? Vámonos, amigos. Crazy part is we actually hung out with Holla and his homies for the entire 3-day trip after the podcast. Bro, I don't care what nobody say. Holla was a S-tier tour guide. If he was our Uber, I'd give him 10 stars. Bro took us to so many places, but I'ma only tell y'all about one because whatever happens in ATL stays in ATL.
This nigga forgot to lotion his ankle, so he's using lip balm.
Listen, it happens at the best.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
You gotta do what you gotta do. No, these hoes don't really like ashy ankles.
Yeah, don't like ashy niggas. You know what I mean?
I mean, my ankle's ashy too.
Hell, I even left him $100 in the back seat without asking as a thanks for driving us around those 3 days because I knew how much gas that probably costed him. So I get off FaceTime with Holla. Me, my brother, and Arius took an Uber to Lenox Mall to meet up with Amaris. We stayed there for a couple hours, then Amaris drove us to Holla's place, which he wasn't even there when we got there, so we had to wait outside for like 30 minutes because he was at the movies. We do the podcast, and after Amaris had to leave, so it was just the three of us with Holla. Holla drives us to this strip club. I don't remember the name, but it's somewhere in the city. Holla's 9 times out of 10 reacting to this right now, so he probably remembers. So we walk in, right? First thing I see that I ain't never seen at a regular club in my life. Bucket naked scruples everywhere. I'm talking about nothing covered up, bruh. No drawers to cover up the vernacular region. No bra to cover up the Nipolation mountains. I mean, nothing. And bruh, 99% of them were like all over 6'3". Bruh, I am 5'5", but I ain't care cause I like my women tall too. Y'all are not excluded. All this tall and sexy walking around, I was loving it. I told y'all many times in the past for all my OG supporters, I don't climb trees, I chop them down, you feel me? Anywho, I made a fool of myself by adapting to the environment without asking questions. I saw people going to the counter, getting money, spending their entire stack of bread on a fantasy, throwing stacks of cash on the boudet, which is what I thought we were supposed to do. So my pea-brain decided to mimic exactly what those same idiots were doing. My brother did too. So we go to the counter, I gave the man $200, told him to break it into all ones. I give my brother the other 100, I turn around and I kid you not, 2 6'3" bucket naked scruples was in front of us, ready to shake that ass. Yeah, I knew they was only there for the bread, but I ain't give a freak at the time because my little buddy down there was happy, and its happiness was my only concern. I was a little bit nervous, but I ended up going through with it anyway. So these two sexy Amazonians took us to the most spacious spot in front of everybody and gave us the dances of our lives right next to each other. He had an Amazon on his power pole, I had one on me. I'm throwing stacks of ones on the boudet. He throwing stacks of ones on the boudet. Then out of nowhere, on Kami, my brother's scripper and my scripper switch guys. I got his girl, he got mine. When his girl got to me, she started going even crazier on me than she did on my brother. Earned every penny. I was still nervous though, cause everybody was watching, but I had a great time. I'm on cloud 9. My little buddy downstairs jumping out the gym. I'm still under the impression that I'm initiating proper strip club etiquette. So after the first dance, I decided to get more money to look for more fantasies. However, us being noob strip clubbers, my brother and I made one primal mistake that every noob makes while experiencing this, which was probably why people looked at us so funny. I'm at the counter getting 300. Holla walks up to me. He talking about, yo, y'all did it wrong. I'm like, what you mean? I ain't see nothing wrong with bumping and grinding. He's like, when you're getting a dance, you're only supposed to throw $1 every like 1 to 3 minutes, which blew my mind because we threw stacks of ones every 10 seconds. So not only did the dances last way shorter than they should have, the scruples got way more money for less work. So you telling me I could have been in the land of ooh for an hour instead of 5 minutes? Yes. So upon hearing this valuable information, I took it upon myself to make sure the next lap dance was better than the last and in the correct etiquette to get my money's worth. My brother was on his own. I go back to the counter to get 300 more. I turn around and instantly this girl named Sugar walks up to me. Bruh, Sugar was so fine. She was like a 9.5. She was 2 inches shorter than me, slim thick, and I kid you not, the most beautiful girl up in there. I remember her the most because she ain't even start dancing off rip. She started conversation with me first, which was smart cause good scribble tactic 101. With the little time y'all got, bond with the client. Works every time for him. Not only was she fine as hell, but this girl was multi-talented. First of all, she threw it back better than both of the stallions combined while conversing with me at the same time. Shorty had a full-blown conversation with both parts of me. Worked for every dollar. Did her thug dizzle. And I think she was kind of lost in the sauce because, bro, when I ran out of money, she kept going for another 5 minutes. I ain't have a single dollar on me and Shorty threw it back like a Cadillac. Did moves I ain't even know existed. I felt like 50 Cent in the candy store because Sugar really left me with a sweet tooth. I never thought I could have the time of my life while clothed. However, despite the S-tier dances, never wasting my money at a strip club ever again. Such a waste of time. Throughout my school years, I've had my fair share of exotic teachers, even when I got to college. I'm talking about I've experienced it all, bruh. I had this one 10th grade teacher back in high school that was a level 99 Karen. Nobody took her serious. If you don't know what a Karen is by now, you either been snorting bubbles under a rock your whole life, or you been up there passing ganja around in the mountains with Aang and the air nomads. We're not gonna use her real name, we're gonna call her Miss Yummers, because this lady was built like Snorlax and loved stuffing her face with the peanut stash she had under her desk. I ain't never seen a woman more in love with swallowing nuts as she did. Ain't nobody take the gun serious because she would always talk about her cats, always make these corny jokes that nobody laughed at, like who you think you is, Chris Rock. And the worst of it all, she overreacted to everything, every second of every minute of every hour. A squared plus B squared equals E. We've went over these notes 69 times. Some people learn faster than others, but it seems like y'all the slow class. So I'm gonna ask y'all one more time. A squared plus B squared equals F. A squared plus B squared equals, whoa, old lady, dang, not the J's. A black man's kryptonite. Good thinking, Miss Yummers. And her overreacting would always piss us off. So, like the little delinquents we were, we will always be in class making it our mission to piss her off. Hey, Miss Yummers, you heard of that new kid Malong coming to class today? Malong dick! And cause of all of that, we never took her serious. She never could get us to behave. All cause she overreacted to everything. I mean, what could you expect from a bunch of easily influenced teenagers, bruh? Home training went out the window when we got to class, especially the gym class. We was cutting up. Let me catch one of my friends or classmates back then shacking a fool or causing fun ignorance in class. I'm about to act up too. Bruh, it got so bad to the point where one day she did the absolute most to make us behave. So that day, I was walking down the 10th grade hallway to Miss Yummers' class, and I heard a crowd of people making noise down the hallway where Miss Yummers' room was. And my first instinct was to run towards the crowd, because in every high school ever, if it's a crowd making noise in a place that's supposed to be quiet, then 9 times out of 10, it's a fight. And I don't know about you, but I love school fights. That hoe be lit. Who breaking it up? Not me. Let them hoes fight. I just can't wait till we go to lunch so we can all talk about it at the lunchroom table. Fights back then were like the equivalent of a Super Bowl. Had the whole school jumping out the gym. Had everybody talking. So I get to the crowd and the first thing I see is Miss Yummers. And apparently, Shorty moving around like she in the clouds. Off that ganja, high as mountain ankles. Now at first I'm thinking like, cap. But then I thought to myself, I don't blame her. All the stress we be putting her through, I wouldn't be surprised. Old man Larry must have let her puff that before she got to work or something, because whatever she was puffing on had her doing the 2-step without even moving her legs. So she was sitting there for like 20 minutes waddling back and forth like a penguin and humming Negro spirituals, making a straight fool of herself. 20 minutes fly by, the crowd died down, everybody go back to class. We all hype into class. You know how lit classrooms be after something go down. Miss Yummers get back to her desk, and when she do, She talking about, all right now, class, calm down. If you want me to keep acting like this, then you need to behave. You fake that? Nah, that's crazy. See, me personally, mid. Yo, she cap. Couldn't be me. Yo, you mad OD, ain't no way, boy. Boy, ain't no way. You know, somewhere in another city, on another planet, at another timeline, there was another me hating on this lady too. All Shawty had to do was just get real stoic and put some bass in her voice or something. You ain't had to do all that, old lady. Bruh, she was sitting there for a smooth 15 minutes on the hushy, didn't say a word. That was the most awkward 15 minutes of my life. All right, y'all. So 2 years ago, I used to talk to this girl that I actually wanted to take serious and be in a relationship with after getting to know her for about like 5 months. We're not gonna use her real name. We're gonna call her Erica. In my mind, I felt like she was perfect. 9.9 out of 10. Deliciosa. Like, she checked off almost all my boxes. I left out that last point to make it 10 because even though I thought she was sent from heaven, crafted for me and me only, there was one thing that she started to do and refused to stop doing that was a deal breaker for me. Personally, I feel like everybody should have deal breakers when it comes to relationships. The one thing that crosses the lines of your morals, standards, values, and makes you go, no, we can't be together. Let me explain. She had it all. She was weird like me. She loved anime, had good taste in music, actively wanted to seek a relationship with God, but was struggling. But you know, it's the effort that counts. She was a gamer girl that was really freaking good at side fighting games. Like, she was pro level. Bro, whenever we played Blaze Blue, she would beat my ass black and blue. She beat me at Street Fighter so bad one time, I called my doctor and asked him why the hell he brought me into this world. She had a sense of humor, could take a joke. She was goofy. She used critical thinking skills, was feminine, worked out 4 days a week, had flaws, but embraced them and was willing to heal from her trauma. Never wore makeup. She was strictly dickly, a vegan. She was down to earth, patient, loyal, and a hustler. Get to the money. She looked finger licking good. I ain't gonna lie, she had a little duke. I prefer a donk, but it's okay because she had a cute face, so I let it slide. Where I'm from, we call little booties dukes and big booties donks. Anywho, I could keep going all day about all the boxes she checked off because it's as if I found my dream girl at the time, all while my ass can't even get past the first few criteria on somebody's dream guy list. I don't know why she wanted me, and I don't care. Now, Erica was open and honest about everything, but she was hard-headed, which is fine. But little did I know that would be the one thing that started our fallout from each other. Literally the day before I was gonna make her my girl, she hit me up and was like, hey, my car's in the shop. Can you take me to Oliver's house so I can get high? They're trying something new. I'm like, a new strand of gas? She like, yeah, you could say that. Mind you, I've known Oliver since I was in elementary school. Bro is a hippie to this day that gets high 25/8 and does the most outlandish stuff that most people would call white people shit. He lived with his adopted mom and biological brother at the time, who were both dysfunctional as hell. So every time we went over there, some crazy shit happened. I felt like I was in a movie half of the time. I pick her up, we get there. The first thing I see that sets me off was they swole ass bulldog behind the gate staring at me. I instantly take off to the car. Oh man, Devonte, you scared of dog? I'm black. We see dog, we run. Erica like, don't worry, they gonna put Rocky back in his cage when we get inside. I'm like, they bought a dog? What they feed that thing? Horses? Nigga look like he boxed Mike Tyson on the weekends. Erica like, man, come on. We get inside and as usual, his mama offers me one of them nasty ass bananas that's been sitting there on the fridge for weeks. On the banana, baby? Nah, grandma, I'm good. You can go ahead. Eat the damn banana. No, ma'am. I'm good, grandma. I don't want a banana. Why you ask for it? I didn't ask for it. Mello, let's go to the back. You know, I love that lady, but I hated when she did that. Plus, she always used to wear them long ass, unnecessary ass nails. Like, grandma, you too old to be wearing them long ass crow feet. If she get in a fight, she's done. We get to the backyard where the shed was, where every time we came over, that was the place where we all partaked in the Mary Jahooji. See, they all smoked the Mary Jane. I, on the other hand, preferred the infused into food version. So Oliver brings us inside. I see his brother Bam Bam and his homie DJ. They in the back table rolling up. I'm like, oh, okay, that don't seem very different. Soon as we get to the couch, life took a 180, cause all of the sudden, I felt like a sharp pain in my chest, as if the spirit was trying to tell me something. Had my heart kicking like an unborn baby. So I leave to go use the bathroom in the house outside of the shed, because I'm thinking like, okay, maybe I just got to take a fat one, just to find out that I didn't even have to drop a submarine into the ocean. I get back to the shed. I walk inside. What the deuce? Takis? Smarties? Coke? What is that? Is that dog food? Yo, Rocky is punching the air right now. What the actual food are you doing? Erica like, relax. The white stuff isn't Coke, it's table salts. What do we look like, degenerates? We're just trying something new like we did last week. I'm like, last week? Yeah, so recently we've been experimenting with different things to get high instead of gas. I haven't been here for a month and this is what y'all decide to do? Oliver, I thought y'all only messed with the mirror Tahuji. Then she goes on this tirade about how their tolerance is way too high and that exotic wasn't enough, so it was Bam Bam's idea to mix foreign substances to see if it can get them higher than usual, and how she wanted to be open and honest about it since we were in the talking stage, and how she knows it's kind of dangerous, but that doesn't stop her because it's fun, and that Oliver, DJ, and Bam Bam seem to be on the same type of timing, so she wanted to see if I was. Listen, I ain't have no problem with her hitting the green pack, but if Shorty kept this up, I knew exactly what road she was headed down. Like, what's next? Car gas? You know how high gas prices are? They finna be broke and mentally damaged. So I'm like, look, when you said getting high, I ain't mean all this. I meant that green, baby. The raw version of the healing herb that comes from the earth is all I can tolerate, because the raw version is for healing. But all of you don't realize that you're inhaling bull crap that causes irreversible damage. My nigga, look at y'all, dog food? That's crazy. You know what? I don't care. I'm standing 10 toes, chest high. Oliver, Bam Bam, DJ, I know I can't convince y'all to stop, but as for you, Erica, if you gonna be doing stuff like this, then we can't be together. Now this when the game changed. Remember when I said Erica was hard-headed? Yeah. When you were against something she felt like brought her fun or wasn't that bad to her in the moment, she would completely tune you out and do what she wanted regardless of the long-term consequence. And I guess this was something she really didn't want to stop. So she hit me with the most direct response I ever heard from her. Okay, bye. Yo, Shorty was tweaking. After she said that, she didn't even look my direction. Cold-blooded, continued crushing down the food in the crystals, not saying a single word. She did not want to stop, and neither did they. I was genuinely bamboozled, bruh. I didn't want to show her no sign of weakness, so I sucked up my emotions I felt at that moment and walked out. Bam Bam, Oliver, and DJ sat there like, damn, even though this was not their problem nor their concern. Like, she grown, she can do what she wants, but I personally don't want my girl doing something like this because I know the long-term effect it'll have on her. Because I've had habits in the past that turned into addictions. I know how it's gonna get. It ain't no different than not wanting your little brother to get caught up in the streets because it'll lead to either death or jail. In conclusion, it's a deal breaker for me. But you know what's crazy? Funny enough, I get back to my dorm, ready to go to sleep. You know, I got my Boys to Men ready in my headphones because, you know, I actually cared about Shorty. At 2:30 a.m., I get a text. And guess who it's from? Count Cracula. She like, I'm sorry for saying that. So you just gonna leave? It's that easy? I ain't even care about her being cold-blooded at that point. I just cared about her well-being. So I reply like, are you gonna stop? 5 whole minutes pass by. She like, I don't know about that. Take care. So we parted ways after. This is why I don't rush into relationships. I want to get to know at least the basis of somebody first. Every time I went to Oliver's house after and she was there, it was awkward. And as for Rocky, still punching that air.
I'm an overthinker, a really bad overthinker. So bad to the point where I become overly cautious about everything. Like I need constant answers and responses just to keep my calm. It's a trait about myself that I've finally accepted and currently am trying to overcome after it almost destroyed a lot of my friendships, made me miss a lot of opportunities, ruined my mental and spiritual health, and most importantly, almost made people distance themselves from me because I tried to fix situations that weren't even a problem to begin with. It's so bad to the point where I get so paranoid about certain situations and I'll think of every possible way something can go wrong. Like I'll hesitate and I'll think about that something all day and it'll turn into a conflict that I want an immediate answer to And if I don't get a solution, then my mind will start making 30 more unnecessary problems. For example, the other day, 7 o'clock in the morning, I walked in this smoothie joint early as a mug. Got to the counter to order. The employee walks towards me with the biggest smile, full of life and enthusiasm. I'm ready, thinking I'm finna be a regular Joe and order 1 or 2 smoothies. Let me get 4 mango smoothies. Instantly, that smile dropped it like it's hot. Her entire aura shifted from I'm ready to I'm not ready. She dipped to the back and go make my smoothies. 3 minutes later, she walk out with them still looking like she wanted to shoot herself in the foot. Heck, I would too, looking like that, Squidward. Had me thinking like, what you mad for? Like, ain't this what you signed up for? Ain't this your job? I guess you ain't ready to make that money. Soon as I get to the car, I realized to myself that she made them drinks mighty fast. Like, this is what I usually get, and it usually takes somewhere around 6 to 7 minutes. What if she spit in my drink? Took a dump in it. I don't even know. Isn't she had to have took a dump? Maybe she put bleach in it. She probably put laxatives in my drink. She put a glob of spit in my drink. Maybe I'm just overthinking. Overthinking sucks, man. I know the feeling all too well. It's the thing that keeps you awake at night. It leaves you struggling to make decisions, makes you second guess yourself in the decisions you make. It leaves you dwelling on a problem instead of looking for a solution. It affects how you work, how you operate. It affects your mood and just everything under the sun. Now hear me out. I ain't no professional, but I deal with this same thing, so I can only give you my advice based on what I do specifically to overcome my overthinking. This is just what I do. You can try it out. I'm not guaranteeing you anything will work instantly because things don't happen overnight. Here's some things that I do that you can do as well to try to overcome your overthinking along with me. Number 1, I think about the here and the now. Forget about the past, the future you can't touch. Just focus on the present. In the heat of the moment, stop, breathe, and assess to yourself what you're thinking and how you feel. Try to be more aware of your thoughts and not let your thoughts consume you. The goal here is to monitor them so you can understand what they are and why you're feeling this way. I do this a lot. Hope that helps. Number 2, I stop worrying about what I can't control and focus on what I can control. So, for instance, if you got a test in an hour and haven't studied the first note, don't sit there and think deeply on how impossible it is to study that much in a short period of time and accept an F. Take a step back, focus, and study as much as you can in that short period of time. Any studying is better than no studying at all. You never know, you might get lucky and cop a D or a C instead of an F off that short studying alone. Try it out, see what happens. Number 3, manifestation. If you constantly tell yourself, oh, I'm a bad overthinker, or anything of that nature, like I tell myself, then that won't help at all. You're basically limiting yourself without knowing it. So instead of doing that, replace those thoughts with the opposite. Thoughts that'll lift you up, not indirectly tear you down. Remember, you got power over your emotions. Your emotions don't have power over you. You know, unless you're a psychopath. I believe that what we say to ourselves is what we believe we are. If I constantly tell myself, oh, I don't overthink things, I don't let my past dictate my future, or I'm a clear thinker, and make the executive effort to make these positive emotions reality, then you're doing more good to yourself than bad. Try it out. Number 4, I practice becoming aware of what I fear. A lot of times we as human beings fear our imaginations more than we fear what's in the real world. Like, we're afraid more of what might happen or what might be. A mistake we can make, what people think of us, failures, all the above. These are some of the reasons why we overthink, in my opinion, based off of my experiences. So to combat this, one thing I try to do is to just jump into action with a contingency plan. Basically, constant acts of courage. Listen to me, and this is based off of experience. The more you put yourself in uncomfortable situations, the more those situations you'll be used to. Get comfortable with being uncomfortable. For example, when I can't make a decision quickly, beforehand, I'll just take a step back and ask myself, what's the worst that can happen? And when I figured out what's the worst that can happen, I'll make a contingency plan. Personally, I try to take baby steps towards my fears just to see what can happen so my fears won't control me. And, you know, usually this helps me gain more confidence so I can go in less afraid of what can happen. All right. These are things that I do to overcome this problem daily. I also pray a lot to the big homie upstairs. That really helps a lot because my relationship with the Father is very important for my mental health and spiritual health. He's the only person that can supply me with eternal peace. Philippians 4:7. I know this ain't your usual storytime Devonte The One video. I got a playlist if y'all want to go check those out, but I really wanted to touch on this topic because I feel like there's people out there that may not have guidance. So I really hope this helps somebody out there watching. I want to thank y'all and the big homie upstairs for 400K subscribers on YouTube. It's been a long time coming. I've been creating content on YouTube since 2011 and didn't blow until 2020. Let me spit a rap for y'all real quick. I had a dream like Luther King. I never stopped until I reached it. They always doubted me. They really thought I couldn't achieve it. Bars, nigga! For my new goals, don't even worry about that, sweetheart, because this is just the beginning.
Nah, bro, you gonna whoop my ass, bro.
Come on, bro.
Fuck it, bro.
I was about to say, come on, bro. I'm with it. I'm with it. Yes, sir. I'm with it.
What the? 9 p.m.? It was just 11 a.m. a second ago. Wait a minute. Why are all these tabs open? I could have swore I said I was gonna go back to work after one video. Wait a minute. Is that TikTok open? How long have I been scrolling? Americanized Chinese food? I don't even like Panda Express. Oh my God.
All right, it's 9 a.m. My routine's done. I'm finna focus and finish this video out loud. It's only 9 a.m. I don't gotta go to sleep till 3 or 4 a.m., so I got time. But after this video, I'm gonna get straight back to work. I procrastinate, like a lot. Even worse than my overthinking problem, and I feel like there's a lot of bad reasons why. Anybody else got this problem too? Huh? Man, what? You too? That's crazy. You know what though? It's gonna be alright. Cause your boy Sensei Dev got you, yeah man? Trust me, my guy. Get out that pen and pad so I can throw you this advice to help you and me out. We gonna get through this together. Reason number 1, I'll do it later. Ugh! You know what that means? That means you're not doing something here and now, not living in the moment. Avoid that sentence at all costs. It'll destroy you slowly. Trust me, I struggle to avoid it myself. So what I do to combat this, even though I struggle with it myself, is practice mindfulness. It's about living in the moment, like doing it here and now. And I know we all got something that hinders us from putting in the effort, like maybe it's distractions, you know, the phone, big booty holes on the gram. Gotta check out that player bill, you know what I'm saying? The TV, gotta finish that season of Oh My Ghost. Oh man, the homies wanna lace up the size 12s in Smash Bros, even though I gotta get something done that's due tomorrow, stuff like that, whatever the case may be. I understand. But at the end of the day, as long as you're trying to combat this problem, bruh, that's all I care about. Does all that make sense? You get what I'm saying? Like, let me know in the comment section. Reason number 2, I doubt myself a little bit too much sometimes. Bruh, whenever I work on a project, I set myself to such a high expectation because I know the limits of my abilities. I have no limits. Sometimes I be stuck on certain video outlines for days, stressed out, overthinking everything possible. Ooh, maybe I should, nah, what if I just, man, this ain't good enough. Bro, it is okay to doubt yourself. Like, just don't let it be the reason that you procrastinate. That's bad. One way I try to combat this personally is by practicing building confidence in whatever I work on by giving 120% of effort and focusing on what I think is good enough. Does that make sense? Like, y'all get what I'm saying? Let me know in the comment section. It's a lot of pressure. I know, easier said than done. Reason number 3, fear of failure. Oh my glob. This is the one I struggle with the most. I'm a person that likes to succeed, so I take this to heart. Now hear me out, and I thought long and hard about this whole entire subject. I feel like the source of that fear is what you define as success. Let that sink in for a second. Like,
Do you value success in numbers, validation from the world based on your work, making your audience feel something like inspiration, happiness, etc., whatever the case may be? And when you fail at said thing, you either fall into a slight depression or take the L and keep it pushing forward by bouncing back 10 times harder. Easier said than done though. See, in my case, my problem is whenever I try to control something that I have zero control over. And that's something is feedback. Thing about me is I don't like to settle for average. I like to go above and beyond average. I like to put in effort. I just have a limited amount of time to do it, which makes things 10 times harder. I want to make every video better than the last, so I try to give it my all and make something perfect. I want each one to be the best thing I've ever seen in my life. No flaws, outstanding execution, but in the simplest form. But then I get stuck on something that's so daunting, like I'm trying to put together the pieces of the puzzle in a flawless way because I set myself to such a high standard and such a high expectation, and I don't want to let my people down. Am I a perfectionist? And then I start overthinking, then my head starts to hurt, I start looking like Jimmy Neutron, and then I stare at the project for like 5 hours, not moving a single finger, trying to put the pieces together. That's when the self-doubt starts kicking in, and then the stress. Then eventually I put the whole project on hold for a while, and then I take a break just to get my mind right by distracting myself for hours, sometimes even days, because I'm so scared of the results and putting out my best work as a whole, which in my opinion is kind of needed, especially for me, because whenever I step away from my work for a break, I come up with all sorts of new ideas, bro. It's so freaking crazy, especially after I sleep, because I'm a creative guy. As you can see, I feel like that's something that just can't be forced. Creativity. At the end of the day, whether I succeed or not on things I can't control is completely out of my control. So what I do to combat this is focusing on the things that I can control and accepting what is out of my control. Does that make sense? Y'all get what I'm saying? Let me know in the comments. All right, gents and gentettes. This has been your friendly neighborhood baseball bat being transparent with y'all once again. I know this ain't your regular DTO video, but dang, let a nigga help y'all out every once in a while. I go through this stuff too, nah I mean? I love y'all, man, sheesh. Anywho, I ain't no therapist, but I hope this helped out somebody out there in some form of fashion. I got a playlist for my regular videos and my topic videos like this one. Link is in the description. Mellow Mafia on top, Sensei Dev logging out. So I made a video a couple months ago about why I don't trust fast food places. If you're new, you may or may not have seen it. It's this story about back when I used to work 9 to 5s. I had this one troublemaker coworker. We're gonna name him Cam. And I told y'all I will make a video down the line about the crazy things I witnessed Cam do. So here we are. Before we get to business, a little backstory. You see, some would call Cam a delinquent. Was it because he's black? Which I can somewhat agree with, because Cam did give off unusually large amounts of black Air Force energy. If you know, you know. But let's look at it from a different perspective. Back then, he and I worked together from the time I was 17 up until I was 18, so I had a full year and some months to witness this delinquent, as some would call him, in action. However, me looking back on it now, from my perspective, now I look at his past self and just see him as a dumb kid that made dumb decisions for his own selfish desires. Now, he wasn't the only one making bad decisions, because I became friends with this jit. You hypocritical piece of shit. Yup, I made the dumbest decision to continue associating myself with this idiot. But wait, don't worry. We not friends no more, because I cut him off some years ago after what I'm about to tell you in this story. But listen, we became friends on accident. I didn't mean to make friends with Dirty Dan. It just happened. It was one day, we were both bored on a 30-minute break. We struck up a conversation that was extremely awkward, but it quickly turned into us both talking trash and roasting almost every worker in the store, and even towards each other, which led to us laughing our way into friendship, or what I thought was friendship. Our friendship wasn't like Craig and Smokey type, like it was more of a SpongeBob and Patrick type of friendship, because wherever Cam went, 9 times out of 10, I went to for the experience. If it was remotely exciting, keyword 9 times out of 10. Like, y'all ever been in a friend group that you low-key don't get along with, but there's certain friends in that group whose presence just turns you into a social butterfly? Like, their presence and energy alone makes the chat much more live?
Work was pretty boring without Cam when we were homies, or so I thought we were homies. The thing I hated the most about Cam is that he wanted to be a gangbanger so bad, and I didn't want him to go down that road, but turns out Cam was the most persistent person I've ever seen in my life. And you know what's worse than a gangbanger? Wannabe gangbangers, which I thought he was, but apparently he wasn't. In my opinion, wannabes are more dangerous because they'll do anything at any cost to show that they really about it. And let me make this clear, there is nothing cool about gangbanging. You hear me? Nothing. It don't bring you nothing but pain, death, or some jail time. And some people are even born into it, so it's harder for them to walk away from that life. I'm gonna tell y'all about 30% of the crazy things I witnessed him do, and at the end, I'm gonna tell you what he did to make me cut him off. So to start off, keep in mind, Cam wanted to be the greatest hood nigga to ever touch American soil, and at all times would try his best to show he was about that life. And through this phase, I actually learned a couple things from Cam. One of them being the fact that I didn't know that Pyrus had like a language. Like, it was mind-blowing. Like, you had to replace the first letter of almost every word with B. Cause I remember this one time I walked up to Cam and I was like, hey yo, Cam, the cashiers made some chocolate chip cookies. Say what, blood? I said some chocolate chip cookies. You mean some chocolate bit bookies, blood? No, I said some chocolate. You mean some chocolate bit bookies, blood? Stop playing me, blood. I'm so glad they didn't let this man work up front at the drive-thru because we probably would have lost business. Can I get a chicken salad with a large Coke? Say what, blood? I said a chicken salad with a large Coke. I heard a bacon ballad with a large boat. Why you playing me, blood? Anybody remember that guy, John Gabbana? You know, the guy that had the persona called Bunk some years ago. He had started this trend where he would go into stores, jump over a counter, take something, and run away. You know what? I would have never, ever thought somebody would have bunked the job I worked at, especially on my shift. But they did. It was like a Saturday, business was low, and some dude walked into the store, jumped over the counter, all my coworkers looking at him like, who's that guy? Like, if y'all don't go get the manager. Dude walks into the kitchen, makes himself a sandwich, and Cam comes around the corner like, hey bruh, put me on your snap. And the guy agrees. Like, they both flexing on Snapchat during a bunk. Talk about self-snitching. Wait. So you sat there, watched them, let them do all of that, and didn't try to stop him or go get the manager yourself? You're no better than Cam. You hypocritical piece of... Shh. Go to sleep. Go to sleep. I remember another time me and Cam went to this coworker's party that he threw at his house. And yeah, for all my MMG members that have been here for a minute, y'all remember this girl? And... all of the Mellow Mafia that has been here for a while remember this girl, the Glizzy Gobbler. She's a girl from my past in a story that I told a while back. And yep, Ann was there at the party, giving head to Cam on a wall in front of everybody. Yeah, I was shocked myself. I was sitting there like, should I get some too? Look at me, I am the captain now. Wait a minute. You wanted to get head from a thought in another man's house and they're okay with it? You disrespectful, hypocritical, disgusting piece of shit. Just gonna throw out into the air, one of Cam's biggest inspirations was NBA Youngboy. Cam had that NBA Youngboy starter pack. He would stand like him, he would rap his songs out loud during and after work constantly, and just replicated all Youngboy's mannerisms. And yep, like I made clear before this man was Dirty Dan, and you can't have a Dirty Dan without a Pinhead Larry. I think y'all know where this is going. I didn't idolize Youngboy like Cam did, but when I heard 38 Baby for the first time, it got me hooked onto his music. And honestly, I like his music, even to this day. And the sad thing about it is I used to listen to his music so much that I started to rap his songs out loud during and after work constantly, stand like him, and somewhat replicate all his mannerisms, and even picked up his Louisiana accent. However, I'm gonna make this very clear. J. Cole will always forever be my #1 favorite rapper of all time. Pat yourself on the back, Jermaine Cole. You got me through a lot of hard times. Wait. However, again, off topic, but I'm gonna just throw into the air that I'm one of those people that just loves good music. And I don't care which genre. My phone's full of rap music, K music, rock, R&B, Japanese, funny music, anime music, some country, gospel, you name it. I got it all. Oh, brother, he's one of those. Nah, little buddy, you just lame. What kind of person just listens to one or two genres only? Like, expand your horizon. The world's bigger than just rap and R&B. Now, this is the reason why I stopped rocking with Cam, and it's the sole reason why I don't trust a soul to this day. And what I'm about to tell y'all is 100% true, just like my other stories. Hand on the Bible, this happened. One day, I'm at work in the waiting area in the back near the kitchen, chilling, because, you know, business was low that day. Cam's in the same area chilling too. Another co-worker of ours walks in. We're gonna call him something different instead of his real name. Like, we're gonna call him KJ. KJ walks in with a bag and he tells us to come to the bathroom because he's got something to show us. And it's obvious that if somebody tells you to come to some place with no cameras at work to show you something, it's never good. And keep in mind, KJ was a real gangbanger, not just any gangbanger. He was one of those people that knew how to control his emotions and always moved in silence. We all get to the bathroom. KJ puts his bag on the counter, turns around, and he's like, "Hey, yo, check this out." KJ pulls out a golden pistol and a black pistol. Now, mind you, this is my first time ever seeing a real gun in my life in 4K. Cam looks at the golden pistol, looks at KJ, and he's like, "Hey, yo, can I hold it real quick?" KJ also makes the dumbest decision to give Cam the gun and looks away to go mess with his other gun. And as soon as KJ looks away, the first thing Cam does is looks at me. And points the gun to my head. I ain't never been so hostile towards somebody in my life, cause in a matter of milliseconds, I'm literally thinking of millions of ways to move the gun out the way as fast as possible, fold this nigga, and put him 35 feet under. Cause at that moment, I realized that is not my homie. He sat there with this little evil grin on his face, and I didn't know if he was gonna pull the trigger or not, but all I know is that I'm in a tight situation where I don't know what's finna happen, so the only thing on my mind is kill or be killed. And as soon as I was about to fade this nigga, I hear KJ, whoa, hey, whoa, slow down, lil' bruh. KJ slowly moves the gun away from Cam, takes it from him, puts the gun back in his bag, he leaves, and Cam leaves behind him, and I stay in the bathroom, look myself in the mirror, and the only thing that was on my mind, I gotta fade this nigga. I gotta say, man, these last 10 years of my YouTube journey trying to chase a dream have been very chaotic, nerve-wracking, and very tiring. But as of last year, by the age of 21, I was blessed with the opportunity of being able to achieve my dreams, and I did. I just want to say thank you. Thank you to the Most High, and thank y'all for y'all support. The Mellow Mafia, my people, my tribe, my colony. Devonte wouldn't be the one without y'all, and I thank you for that. A little bit more dramatic. You great, amazing people. I love you niggas, man. I swear, dog. Just a tiny bit more dramatic? All right. How dare you, amazing, great human beings, give me the honor of your support. Is that better? You're almost there. Just a little bit more dramatic. Just a tiny bit more. Okay. Thanks. Perfect. All right. Welcome back to another episode of The Dumb and the Restless, starring your very own me. This story happened pretty recently, so it's still fresh on my mental. Might as well explain why I titled the video the way I did, because when I say Bugs stole my car, that is no cap. Bugs stole my car, and I don't mean the bunny, so let's hop to it. So I live in an apartment by myself right now, and it's pretty lit, you know, especially when I'm cooking up these videos, you know what I'm saying? Moved in around April of this year after moving out of my folks' crib after saving up money for 2 years and making sure I was stable enough to survive in this hard knock life. I could finally walk around the house in my birthday suit, go out when I feel like, eat when I feel like, and be as loud as I feel like. And you know, all that's fine and dandy, pretty lit. Until I gotta remind myself that the light bill's due 2 days from now. Oh, did I miss rent? Uh-oh, gotta file my taxes. Insurance? How dare you? I'ma tell you this, if you're a kid watching this right now, listen to me. Enjoy your childhood while you can. Yes, I may be living my dream, which sometimes feels like a dream, but bills are a gold digger with no condom. I hate bills. If I see bills out in the street, bruh, I won't hesitate to slide on them. Yeah, that's right. I got responsibilities now. One of those responsibilities being to make sure that the garbage is out or my house is gonna smell like bat piss. How do you know what bat piss smells like? So one day during the first week of moving, right, I was loading up some boxes in my car to take down to the garbage. And this was a pretty hard task, seeing as the boxes were somewhat heavy and they had little to no grip. Plus, it's only me. I don't have anyone to open the door for me when I walk through it. So I made a routine. I'd stuff other boxes that I broke down into one big box. When I get to the door, I hold the big box with one arm while I open the door with another. Step outside, close the door with my other arm without sitting it down, and take the box straight to the car. Well, why not just sit the box down and then close the door? I could, but see, here's the problem. As I'm walking back and forth from my door to my car, I see a colony of ants right in my breezeway from somebody leaving their dog food in my breezeway. I live in the very back of my apartments next to the forest, so people walk their dogs back here every day. Common knowledge, if you drop something on the ground and you don't pick it up, then ants will be there in less than a couple hours. If I were to step outside and take the risk by sitting it down for 2 seconds, close my door and pick the box back up, ants gonna do what ants do, crawl on things and never leave. So to combat this, I'm putting on the burners, bro. My early morning workout was already in effect. I wasn't even worried about the ants at that point, but over time, it got harder and harder to keep my grip on the boxes and close the door at the same time. Putting the box on the floor for a quick 2 seconds to close my door became very tempting, and eventually I gave in to the temptation because the box literally had no grip. None of them did. Now, this is where things get fairly odd. When I gave into the temptation and took out the last box, right, I looked out into the front area and there weren't that many ants, but there was still a lot. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna just sit this box down for 2 seconds, just 2. I'm sure they can't do anything if it's only 2 seconds. Right? So I step outside, sit the box down, and immediately close my door because it was wide open. And from what I saw, dead serious, in that exact moment, supposedly with my 20/20 vision in 32K Ultra HD Platinum Omega, when I picked the box back up, it looked like there were no trace of ants anywhere on the box. I could have sworn there were none on it. Literally, that's what my eyes told me at that exact moment. So I thought to myself, I guess everything's all right. No. I've never drove back to my house so fast in my life in a car full of ants, bruh. Like, so you telling me that box still had ants on it after I supposedly double checked? Instead of going to get smoothies, I should have went to the eye doctor because my vision obviously wasn't 20/20. It was more like Wendy's, a 4 for 4. That short amount of time the box was in my car was just enough for the ants that was already on the box to scatter and bring more friends. So after that, bro, they had that whole on lock. They were in my hood, my trunk, the windowsill, the seats, you name it. I tried cleaning out my car every day, detailing it, using essential oils to get them out. All that helped a little bit, but it still didn't get them out. They just kept coming back. They stole my car from me for 5 whole weeks. I couldn't drive it. My car before this happened was my happy place. It was the place where I could just chill in and think, but they turned it into a playground. Until I went to the store and bought some bug spray, which is what I should have did the first day this happened. With that bug spray, after the 3rd week, getting rid of them bugs became a whole lot easier. Yep, for the next 2 weeks, it went a little something like this. Y'all ever heard of a pick-me person? It's basically like a person who begs for the attention, acceptance, or approval of somebody. Now, I don't know about you, but I found out real quick how annoying this type of person can be a good minute ago. I remember this one day back in sophomore year of college. I was leaving the gym on my hot boy summer type beat, you know what I'm saying? Showing off my bulging muscles that I would have had if, I just worked a little harder. I get back to my dorm room and my friend Jerry, that was in my circle, but not completely in my circle, he hits me up and is like, yo, me and some other homies finna be chilling at Facilities 2 tonight. If you ain't got nothing else to do, slide, fam. And of course I accept because 1, he's one of the homies I actually enjoy being around, and 2, every night back then you would usually find me at certain spots on campus anyway doing God knows what, living that campus life. One night you might find me in the main building, 2nd floor with my core group, high off of life. Another night you might find me in one of my friends' dorms, high off of life, chilling, doing God knows what. Then another night you might find me outside at events or in the game room with my core group, high off of life, doing God knows what. I was all over the place making memories, bruh. I loved every second of it too. My campus life was literally a movie. Later that night, I pull up to Facilities 2, which was one of the high-class co-ed dorm buildings on campus. Now, this place was like paradise compared to the dorms I stayed at, which was basically the trap, literally. Both of the dorms I stayed in my first 2 years, nicknames were the trap. I learned the hard way why it was given that name the minute I got to college. Now, usually when I'd hang out with Jerry in Facilities 2, he'd always have like 2 other friends with him that I really didn't care if they were there or not. But this time it was different because I looked through the glass and I saw that he brought a girl with him, and not just any girl. A girl that I personally knew and had some conversations with before, but could tell off the dribble by the way she acted that she was fighting some very heavy internal demons, I might say. I mean, it wasn't nothing I couldn't handle. Like, I didn't have no problem with her yet. We're gonna call her Gwen. I get inside and knew off the dribble there was a disturbance in the force. Something was very off about this picture because the way she reacted to everything was not normal, my guy. She was viciously trying to seek the attention of every guy walking through that room. And I do mean every guy walking through that room, thus becoming a pick-me girl. Soon as she see me, she Millie rock over my way and get all up in my personal space, bro. Like, I ain't get no room to breathe. And she greeted me, but like in a very psychotic way. Like, shorty was acting strange, very much lunatic behavior. Like, there was something real loony about this tune. Whole time in my head, I'm thinking like, bruh, this girl gotta be off a perk. And I was about to blow. But, however, I'm a person that chooses peace over chaos unless provoked, so I decided to back her up out of my personal space, bottle up my irritation, keep calm, and be nice to her, and just tried to have a regular conversation. Cause it's clear internally she was going through it, which was a bad idea because that gave her exactly what she wanted. This created a misconception in her mind about my motives. See, ain't nothing wrong with being nice to somebody and just having a regular conversation with them. But trying to have a regular conversation with a borderline psychopath that clearly has different intentions with you is pretty much mental suicide. That's like trying to have a regular conversation with Toga from My Hero. It ain't gonna end well, especially if she likes you. So after putting me through mental gymnastics, she started hitting me with all these random questions, and I ain't even gonna drag this out. I'm gonna keep it short. Let me tell y'all how weird this conversation got. She was asking me how she could get basketball players to like her and that she's used to guys coming up to her first. It definitely don't look like it. And that it hasn't been happening lately, so she's trying to shoot her shot first this time, but she doesn't know if they find her attractive. So I say to her, look, if you're trying to take the first approach route, then you won't know until you shoot your shot and figure out yourself. You can't expect a hit if you don't swing. I don't know about anybody else, but if I find somebody attractive, I'm gonna show it through my actions or just tell them. And as soon as I said that, she looked at me so viciously and was like, well, Mello, that was my nickname back in college, do you find me attractive? Nani? Now, I don't know about my boy Jerry, but in my eyes, Gwen was a 55 overall Hall of Fame plate cleaner with no badges. Her and Big Mom from One Piece had a little something in common, and I'll be the first person to tell you I was not attracted to shorty in any type of way. never will be. I came, I saw, I did not want to conquer. What I really wanted to say, I'm glad I didn't, because I had a very fly mouth back then, and still do. I'm working on it, but I could switch from nice to menace to society timing and be cutthroat whenever I felt like it. But however, I decided to just choose the calm, honestly nice, not brutally honest, but calm, honestly nice route, because I remember what my dad told my mom once. On the other side of what you say is another human being. So I just let her off with a light. You not ugly, but I just don't find you attractive. Shorty gets angered, big fella. Like, what you getting mad for? Plenty of females have told me the exact same thing. I ain't obligated to like you. From the way you was acting, I could tell you were scared of rejection already, but I ain't realized it was this bad. Every emotion after that towards me from her was very petty and malicious. She was doing everything in her power to make me feel like straight dog water, but everything she threw at me, I countered with no reaction. Like, she was trying, but whole time I was just like, okay. So I walk off to one of the couches and tried my best to ignore her and just kick it with the homies, because she was getting on my last nerve. 3 minutes later, this girl I knew that was always in the game room, we're gonna rename her Drea, walks in the lobby looking stressed, but not stressed. She immediately looks in my direction, walks over to me, pulls me to the side, says to me in the most stressed but not stressed, seductive looking face, she needs to talk to me about a problem in private over by the stairway, which is the same place that leads to the dorm room she lived in. So at first I'm thinking like, a problem? Oh, rad. I might be able to fix it. Then I remembered, oh, never mind, ain't nothing finna happen. She actually does look stressed out about something. But that don't mean I can't be the reliever, you know what I'm saying? She grabs my hand and we walk over to the stairway. And as soon as we get to the door, wait! Check it out. Gwen was going ham trying to get my attention. She would not stop running her mouth. Her energy was through the roof. Like, let me be great, woman. She done already made up in her mind what she thought was about to happen between me and Drea. And she might have been right. But I don't even know the end of this story yet either. She was messing up my possible happy ending, therapy session. I was trying to give her signals like, yo, you don't get your... You cock-blocking me, leave, little thot. It got so chaotic to the point where I could just see the disgust in Drea's eyes. Like, we was looking at each other like, this girl need more than help. Off the rip, Drea was not having it and was like, you know what, Mello? Go on ahead. It must be very important. We'll talk later. I'll see you in the game room. She gives me the hug and leaves the room. What was so important that you stopped me for?
Well, do you find me attractive at all?
Are you kidding me? All right, so if you watch my videos, then you probably watched the OG of all of this, Swoozy. The other day, Swoozy uploaded a video confessing some of his most embarrassing L's. And at the end of the video, he challenged some other animators and influencers like Alex Clark and Jaden Animations to confess theirs too. Well, Adonde, my brother, you are not gonna leave me, Yo-Yo, and Stanley out of this because we have some embarrassing L's too. So for me, I'm gonna tell you about 3 of them. Number 1, a couple weeks ago, as I'm fresh off of dominating at Brawlhalla, I decided to put my pride away and play some Super Smash Bros. Ultimate with my friend group, which consists of Sean, known him since high school, Deuce, met him in high school, and 2 Million, met him in college with Sean. Now, keep in mind, I have not played any type of Smash game since Brawl, so at the time, I was rusty at the game. The mechanics and controls of the game were foreign to me, but being fresh off of Brawlhalla and both of the games looking like they have a similar play style and mechanics, I was confident that when playing Super Smash Bros. After 9 years, it will be a piece of cake, because Brawlhalla in my eyes is like a great value Super Smash Bros. Let's be honest here. It always gives me that Super Smash Bros. Feel when I play it, but like not all the way there. So I went straight into the game without practicing. Like, what's the worst that could happen? I got him, I got him. I don't got him. You come over here, you die. Suffer. Hidden Lotus. Give me that shield. I gotta hold you respectfully. Crank it. Bye-bye. This is literally our commentary during games, bro. Like, I need to record this one day. It'd be hilarious. Bro, I was getting my ASS beat. They even warned me before they started that Smash Bros isn't like Brawlhalla, even though they look similar, which is something I should have known because I played Brawl 9 years ago. I didn't win a single game that night. Not a half a game, not a quarter a game, not one. It took every fiber of my being not to go outside in the back and smash my Switch with a hammer because I've been good at video games all my life once I learned the controls. So losing this badly destroyed my ego. Until 3 weeks later, when I found my trump card, the Mii Swordsman. Ever since, after polishing my skills just a little bit more, I went from being a scrub straight into being a threat. Unlike the other two, I still haven't beat 2 million yet in a 1v1, so technically this is still an L because I haven't beat the final boss yet. But I'll update y'all on my Instagram the day I do win against him. Speaking of L's, moving on to the next L. Number 2, right before the pandemic hit back when I was in college, me and 2 Million were on campus in the main building arguing about who's better at basketball based off of our basketball past. So we decided to do a 1v1 on the court to see who still got it. Now at that point, I do not care about playing the sport anymore. I do not care about winning at the sport anymore. I do not care about sharpening my skills or making shots correctly. I don't have the motivation, focus, nor energy. So why did I accept the challenge if this was the case? To be honest with you, I just wanted some excitement. Like, I feel like Goku, bro. Like, I wanted to get a kick out of the situation. Like, what did I have to lose at that point? I made a video 3 weeks ago about my basketball experiences growing up, so if you haven't watched it yet, I'll keep it short. Back in high school, I was a great player. I stopped playing basketball my senior year of high school, so when I got to college when I was 18 years old, I stopped caring about playing the sport completely. This L happened when I was 20 years old. I am 21 right now, so 2 years prior to this L, I have not picked up the first basketball. On top of that, I stopped working out, in fact. By the time this L happened, I'm out of shape, even though in high school we were built the same. I had no business accepting a challenge from somebody that is still in shape because he still works out when every time I shoot the ball 3 times, I run out of breath. In high school, I didn't have these problems. I could run up the court all day. So before I accepted this challenge, I should have ran up a treadmill. The only reason I accepted his challenge, even though I knew I was gonna lose, is because I like winning in general. Plus my ego didn't let me say no, which is the same mindset he had. I'm literally better than you. I'm just not in shape. What is wrong with you? You're not better than me.
Yes, I am.
What part of I'm not in shape anymore did you not understand?
Go get in shape then.
Bruh, don't get dropped off.
We need to drop this conversation because all I hear are excuses.
Stop confusing yourself. Stop it. Just stop it.
Bet, 1v1 me then.
Hey fanboy, Chum Chum, it'd be great if y'all shut the hell up, respectfully. Can't y'all see I'm over here studying? Oh, lame ass niggas.
So we get down to the court and I know I'm out of shape and I know I don't got any motivation to actually try to play because I know if I do try, then my legs probably gonna be on life support. So I'm like, all right, I can't drive in like I used to when I had my gladiator body. So the best thing I can do right now is to just shoot the ball. So I get the ball, shoot it, and instantly my legs had a stroke. I missed a shot too. He rebounds the ball, gets back to the top, and I'm trying to fight through the pain by defending him, and man, this dude had me doing a Cupid shuffle out there for 20 minutes. I lost so bad that I had to get insurance on my ankles, bruh. Like, I thought I could really beat this man while 1, out of shape, and 2, no motivation. But it was clear that I needed my gladiator body back and motivation. After that L, I started working out again to this day. I'm trying to get my gladiator body back. Moving on to the next L, number 3. So 4 years ago, I used to be friends with this girl that lived down the street from me, and she had an interest in making YouTube videos. Now, this was back before I did animated stories. I did like reactions, music videos, and skits, and I was around at 1,000 subscribers at the time. We used to chill a lot, and I used to like this girl because we had something in common. We had a vibe together for the most part, and this girl was bad. Like, she could have caught more than this meat. She could have caught these kids. One problem though, she made it clear during some conversations that we had that she don't date friends because she doesn't want to ruin a friendship. And if I ever liked her, she would never talk to me again. So I kept my little crush a secret for the longest time. Now, there is nothing wrong with dating your friend. Actually, those be the best relationships. Like, anybody that thinks that I can't date my friend because I don't want it to ruin a relationship. You're a weirdo. That's just you limiting yourself. Like, why waste the energy trying to get to know a complete stranger when you can waste less energy with the person you already know and you have some attraction to? One day, I finally get the balls to ask her out, even though she made it clear she didn't date friends, but I thought maybe she would just, give me a pass because we were somewhat close, or so I thought. After we get done chilling in my crib for a couple hours, I escort her outside, and soon as we get to the front yard, I muster up the courage and ask her out. She looks at me with the blankest face I've ever seen, turns around and walks down back to her house. Didn't even say a word, never looked back, and I didn't see her for 4 years. No BS, dead serious. She ghosted me in real life. Like, dang, bruh, if I'm ugly, just say it. 4 years and 300K subs later, guess who came lurking back into my DMs? Okay. All right. Love y'all. See you next week. Bye.